Welcome back, everybody. Legendary Tales. Let me unmute the boys real quick. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing well. Today's a good day. I need to switch up the camera bounds a bit, or I could just leave it. Everyone actually looks pretty good. What am I doing? Okay. Does anyone have a recap for last week? One of you has the notes.
The DM's a jerk.
Gee, I wonder who. Okay, so last week we all headed over to Nilhund, and let's see, where did we land? First of all, we traveled from Seltheim on the Huntsman's Prow, which is a Ironside ship for all intents and purposes that was run by a ghost crew. It's a soul-stitched Ironside, basically, is what it winds up being. Under the command of Captain Damnus, a one-eyed man with a cigar. We learned a lot about the two different gods of the sea, Turmoil and Bombasta. We traveled to the port city of Nilhund, which I did actually neglect to write down the name of. But from there, we actually traveled to Nisund. And in Nisund, we basically got to do a little bit of touristy stuff. Went to see the Square of Time. And we discovered a little bit about Reprap's past. And from there, we actually wound up going and visiting the vault, the Temper Vault in Nisund, which is owned by the Emperor and the Empress. The vault itself accessible by elevator, which travels between planes. And from there, we went to the Ivory Tower at the southern end of Nisund, which is the actual palace. Yvonne introduced us to quite a few people there. Cyclonash, Rain, Law Speaker Halvern, Sarek, Scizork, Emperor Nim, and his wife Idaka. At which point, Yvonne decided to be a complete and total dickbag, stole the Eye of Moonball, created a spear from it, stabbed the Emperor, and while we were a little busy and preoccupied trying to murder the shit out of him, he escaped through a portal, which was fortunate for him because at the same time, the spear made from the Eye of Moonball that he stabbed the Emperor with was becoming very quickly a black hole vortex. Swallowing and gobbling up everything, the party exited and fled the scene as quickly as possible to be rescued by, for all intents and purposes, bears that were portaling in and hoovering up people as refugees. I would say refugees is probably the appropriate term here. And spiriting them away to the unknown warband territories where we find ourselves now in the city of Noverskut. Being greeted by a lady who is letting us know that the War of the Soulforged has begun and Mombal has made the first move and is giving us some context clues as to what we need to do in order to subvert or prevent war. And that lady's name, of course, is Stanislava, a tribal leader. I take it a bit of an orrery. I didn't really put that in my notes, but orrery seemed to be implied there.
Yes, there is another character with her that is an horror, sort of.
Gotcha. And yes, of course, Yvonne did break Evie's heart. Snapped it right in two like a frozen Twix.
Rough.
How dare he?
It's visual.
Very crunchy.
Everybody, welcome. Safari Fred, you know him in chat. He's a mod. He's our guest
Hello,
star
everybody.
for today, and maybe depending on situations, more than one episode. That's if he wants to. What we have for today is we're gonna time skip. We're gonna time skip 2 days. Okay, you guys spend your time in Novochergut. So they don't pronounce V's in this region at all. They are W's for all intents and purposes. And let me put on some Forest Day. Basically, you time skip. You're walking around, checking out all the things, and thousands and thousands of people come to this city and set up their tents all in their own respective areas. Eventually, Stanislawa comes back to you and offers something. Okay, she comes to you and she says, well, I believe that one of your comrades has just more or less landed. And your group is sort of staying in a tent by themselves. And you have this tent next to one of her tents. And there's a few things that you have learned overall is that there are eight war bands that are here. and that makes up the entire warband territory. There are 8 separate factions within the single faction, and I will be posting how to spell them in our chat, but I'm going to explain a little bit about them to everybody else. Oh my gosh, come on.
Lower dump. Yeah.
It is about to be a huge lore dump.
I took a lore dump earlier.
Did you? How was it? Was it good?
Jesus Christ. It came out nice and smooth.
So, the first clan that I'm going to describe to you is the Krats and Grits, which does anyone here speak Giant?
No.
No. Well, I'm not there.
You are not there yet. The Krats and Grits is known as Red Bear Clan. Stanislawa is their leader, and she's known as the Giantess. So the Giantess, she's 9'5". When I say a big lady, she is an actual giant. And she is represented with this token. Boop. She's just north of the city. If you look at her, that is Stanislawa.
Can you fix the observer? Because I'm looking at a north shore of somewhere.
Oh. Are you here? If you zoom out, you might be right-clicked. You need to zoom out with your mouse wheel and then hold right-click and drag.
Gotcha.
You got it? You're over here now?
Yeah. I'm so used to watching, I forget I control this.
Yeah, you control it. This is on you. You're
Yep.
playing this time.
That was a real big brain fart right there.
That was a big
Continue.
brain. It was big brain. And then you also meet the old man soothsayer that you met before, talking about the word the Soulforged. Their name is Kuzma, and they are the leader of the clan Suterica. And they're also known as Spirit Speaker. A little bit, and I will show you their representation now. That's Kuzma. They wear a human skull and a bunch of bones as armor.
Sick.
Then later on, a woman dressed in a giant spider carapace named Zoya. She's called the Spider Queen. She's the leader of Absalorn, one of the other war bands. Then shortly after that, the brother, or not the husband wife pair, known as Boris and Yana, also known as father and mother of the Kozik Rich clan. Those two show up.
I'm sorry. Can you give their names again? I'm writing furiously, but I'm a little bit behind you here.
I will type. I will type all this. I'll put it in our chat after we're done introducing.
Okay.
So you have
Thank
proper spellings and everything. And then a man only referred to as the Beast Butcher shows up. This is not to proper scale. He is the leader of the Sluchova Ike clan, and he's literally a giant dressed in a skull, and his shoulder pads are made of skulls. So let me zoom in a little bit for you, for everyone watching. The guy in the middle,
Just like my grandpa.
and his actual name is Vyacheslav. Is his actual full name Vyacheslav, and they call him the Beast Butcher. He carries around 2 meat cleavers that are roughly between 4 and 5 feet long, and about 3 feet wide. So when he holds them up, they are just like giant pieces of metal that have just been put on a stick, essentially. And then we have Rostis, also known as Blue Justice. He is the leader of Smaradov. And then Palchi Moch leader, his name is Anatoly, is this guy. And then finally, the leader of Vidacha is named Lydia. And that is this wonderful lady. So, from left to right, this is Rustis, Zoya, Stanislawa, Lydia, Ivacheslav, Anatoly, Boris, Yana, and
I'm sorry, you said these were like the various
Kuzma.
leaders of
These
the
are the
clans?
leaders of each of the clans.
Right.
And they are quite intimidating, and they are different. They are a bunch of different races. I didn't have it pre-written. It's going to be in order, in the same order of clans. Does anyone have any questions, or would you like to talk to any of these people?
I actually have a quick question. Do you still have me hidden in Foundry? Because I don't see my character sheet under the actor directory.
Oh, I don't believe I added. I don't believe I put you as an owner. No, I did not. Owner. And then observer is an observer. There we go.
There we go.
There we
Okay.
go.
Just wanted to make sure everything was here and everything was good.
Boris and Yana. Ivacheslav. Rustis. Anatoly. And then Lydia.
And just real quick, chat, just because you wear skulls on your skull doesn't make you a bad guy. You need to be less judgmental about people that wear skulls on their skull. I'm disappointed in you, chat.
It's a fashion statement.
It is a fashion statement. So the leadership is the second group that I just put into our chat. So you have proper spellings of them. And then, yes. And then, finally, after meeting all these leaderships, Lydia comes up to you guys. And she's like the most normal statured physical makeup person. And she comes up to you and she says, well, I've heard you come here from Nilhund. And I wanted you to assign you a sort of escort companion from my clan personally, so that your safety is assured. And this very buff-looking, he is, for lack of a better term, physically scarred on almost every single part of his body. He comes up and he introduces himself. Hi, I am Casimir Bloodbath. And this is his token. He's actually he appears to be a half-orc, but he's more human than orc. He has very small tusks on his bottom lip, but he is pale-skinned. He appears to be human, but his physical stature makes him not human, very clearly. He carries a great axe and barely any other equipment. He barely wears any clothing. He just has leather straps and a loincloth on. He does have a large pair of boots that go above his knee, and they are plated in iron. And he carries around a necklace made of human teeth. He's wearing a necklace made of teeth.
How do you get a name like Bloodbath?
It was a good time. Let's just say that there was a large crater, and we had a large battle, and I ended up ripping people's, essentially biting their necks off, and they came out of it covered from head to toe in blood. That's how I got my name.
That sounds remarkably straightforward.
And shortly after, a lot of you guys have been staying in this tent that has a bunch of small tents behind it. And those tents are meant for refugees, and they don't have any like apparent colors like the rest of the clans do. And directly behind you, a Warforged walks up. An actual Warforged. I need all of you to make perception checks for me, please, except for our mystery hero. He is oddly reminiscent of one technician Rep. Could you do me a favor and introduce yourself?
So before you see a Warforged, tall, very, very tall, sort of not an imposing figure, but he's tall with a smooth, sort of featureless face. And his eyes and his mouth are, when you start talking to him, you'll notice those are what are emotive about him. He doesn't really have like chin bones or like cheekbones, but his eyes and his mouth are very expressive, kind of like Wall-E. If you're familiar with the movie Wall-E, very expressive in like a Wall-E type fashion.
And here's his token.
And he's got long, lanky arms and long, lanky legs. He doesn't look very coordinated. He's got sort of like a bulbous, smooth body to him, and that's
And technician, you feel oddly connected to this thing. There's
Oh,
something.
and it looks sad. Like, it looks upset.
Hello,
So-
friend. Have you lost your purpose?
Purpose? No, not purpose. But lost? Yes.
You are lost.
No. I
I'm
have
afraid
lost.
I do not understand. You have lost.
Yes.
What have you lost?
My charge. The one I'm guarding. Shit, I forgot his name already.
Zarek.
Zarek. Prince
Z-A-R-A-C.
Zarek.
I see. I have just met Zarek today. No,
Today?
Yeah,
When?
it's 3
Today.
days ago.
I
3 days.
I have just met Zarek
yeah,
recently.
that was-
Yeah.
Was this before or after
Just
the
before.
explosion?
Just before. I did not, unfortunately, get any time to spend getting to know Prince Zarek.
That does not help. Have you seen him here?
No, I have been looking for people that we recognize.
This is like Portal 2.
As you guys are having this conversation, someone that you both recognize comes out of the background. And by the way, the newest character should be available in the overlay for those of you that are watching. I'm going to verify that real quick. But someone comes across you guys, and you recognize it as Zarek's girlfriend, Solson. She comes walking out. She's like dirty from head to toe. She's like a really beautiful high elf lady that you saw before. Dark hair, really, really, really pretty. Comes out from those tents that the newest guy came from. Let me grab her token real quick so you can remember who she is.
Wait, she was with me in the tent?
No, she came out from
Okay.
behind you and said, "Oh, Steward, what do you? Where are we? Did you find Zarek? I haven't seen
turn
you in
around
days."
And I turn around and just say, I have not.
Well, when was the last time that you saw him?
Falling.
Falling. Oh, when we were teleported here.
Falling.
Oh.
Yes. I teleported in the sky. And he was with me. And then I came here and he was gone.
So you're still looking for him here then? Interesting.
Yes.
And as you guys talk about this, Stanislawa comes up to you and hands Loer Schick an orb. It's almost like an orb made of temper, but it's not quite. It's like a iron sphere, like a stainless steel sphere wrapped in temper, like banded temper around it. And she says, something has just been said globally that you need to hear.
I take the ball and I just like kind of try to figure out how to work this thing.
she looks at you and she just presses on one of the there's like a latch on the end of it. She presses it, and I'm going to read you a thing that I wrote. Okay. Let me turn on my voice mod because it matters. Okay.
This old-timey radio.
First thing, you click the thing and an image pops up in front of you. It's a very small, apparently young humanoid wearing a bronze mask. Comes on to this sort of, it's almost like a hologram, and this is what it looks like to the right of Novochergut. This is what the mask looks like on a very small human frame. And the voice that comes out of it says the following. 2 days ago, there was a calamity. The Empire of Nilhund was destroyed. He thrusts his hands outward and pushes them down as the crowd begins to get very loud that's in front of him. And as it does this, the sort of lens, it's not really a camera, it's very much just a lens, sweeps, and there's thousands of people in front of this young man. The lens pans backwards, back to him. My investigators have discovered the cause. A small group of mercenaries from the crag infiltrated the Empire and assassinated the king. They used a foul magic that concentrated into an explosion that used vast stores of temper as a weapon. Yvonne comes out from behind him and smiles directly into the lens as if he's looking directly at you. And he holds up a handful of scrolls, 4 scrolls. As he does this, a gasp spreads throughout the crowd. Here are the faces of the mercenaries. One by one, he unfurls these scrolls, and your faces are on each of them. The first one to be revealed is Evie Asgare. It's a perfect facsimile of you. The second one is Loershik. The third one is Technician. And Vidar's is not perfect. There's something wrong with it. You can't really tell what's wrong with it. But it's almost like he never got a good vision of you.
Rat bastard.
That is you.
I hereby declare that I am no longer at war with the Frozen North. I am now calling on the rest of the world to band together to find these mercenaries.
Shit.
Bickering starts within the crowd. He does his hand gesture again. As well, I believe the rampant use of magic has become a problem, and I have the solution. The final solution.
It's always good. It's always a good solution.
Anyone who brings one of my agents an arcane focus, a spell book, or another proof of demise will be given 70 gold. The crowd gets super quiet across the whole thing. This is not a holy war, but a balancing of power. Today starts the hunt. Bring me proof and you shall be rewarded. Magic has caused this calamity, so magic will pay. He backs up and exits into the dark room of the palace. And the crowd begins to cheer, and the crowd immediately disperses.
Can I make an insight check against these 4, like right when the scrolls were revealed?
Sure.
Let's go.
What are all of your reactions to this?
How are y'all looking?
My first reaction is cursing Yvonne, just like as soon as we see him on the orb. I know he can't hear me, but I'm screaming at his stupid face. Not only am I pissed off that I definitely can't get a date now, but we're wanted criminals for something that we didn't do. So I'm kind of raging, and like some
Never say
visual indication of angry, like I'm fuming. So that's just like all around me. Studio Ghibli style hair raising kind of shit. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Vidar, what's your reaction to this?
A mix of half wanting to be like, well, glad they didn't get a good drawing of me. Man, these 3 and their 4th random buddy.
Sucks to
that's
be
not
you
here
guys.
anymore. Wow, the 4th one got away apparently. But also the follow-up points after that, I don't feel like I can bring my disguise down and just be like, nope, that wasn't me, because there's kind of a war on temper, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. No, not on temper. On people who use magic.
Oh, so technically I could be show my temper face and be like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the fact that then I've then exposed myself.
Loershik, what is your immediate response?
I want to first know if I recognize or notice anything about this seeming king.
Go ahead and make a history check for me, please. You know nothing, Jon Snow. If anyone else wants to make a history check to see if you know anything about the Bronze Mask character, you're more than welcome to.
I would
Yeah.
love to.
Same.
I don't give a shit, so no.
You might actually know who this is. So make a history check. Anyway,
Me?
yeah. Okay. Those of you who got a 15 or above recognize that as the young king Shiram Montaigne IV, who had recently just taken power over the last year, after his father died of a stroke. What?
Okay.
So, technician, what is your reaction to this?
He is creating incongruencies with the truth. This is not at all what happened.
As you guys are looking at this, some of the leadership and some of the people here step away from you for a moment before Kuzma comes up. The sort of bone shaman walks up to you and says, "I understand that this is not you. There's no way you would not be here and out and about if you actually did this. Is that correct?"
Yes. We did not do these things. We did accompany him on his journey. The one in the back, the one showing the scrolls of us. His name is Ivan. We were tasked with traveling with him. We did, in fact, travel with him, but he is, in fact, the perpetrator of this crime.
Well, it's good to know. So, Stanislava takes the orb back from Loershik and says, "Well, I believe that we need to get you accompanied. Well, you have Casimir with you now, and he is one of the agents of Vdacha, and you will be prepared in his care, and you will be protected, and something I need you to choose now is something we can refer to you as, and if you would like to associate yourself with one of the clans, we can get you additional equipment or whatever you need to survive. But for the time being, I believe that Kusma has located one of the artifacts that is part of the shards of Moonbal's weapon, his spear."
The spear was when Yvonne crushed the eye, it turned into the spear, right?
It took on the appearance of a spear, but
Okay.
after thinking about it yourself, it was more of a giant shard of obsidian or some other similar material that, instead of being a ball, it basically put itself into this giant shard. That, now that you're thinking about it, would make sense that it is a piece of a spear or piece of a much larger weapon.
Stanislava, you are asking for something to call us. The only thing that comes to mind is that Ivan used to refer to us as Jelly Bean. But not understanding this, I do not know if this is an appropriate name for us.
It's very appropriate. It's very appropriate.
Perhaps it's too soon.
Probably not, considering it's not exactly intimidating, but if that's what you would like to be called, we could call you that.
Team
Veto.
Jelly Bean.
Okay.
Sophie, you're muted. You're muted.
I feel like we need something a little more intimidating. They seem to think that we're mercenaries and we're out to kill specific people.
Also,
maybe-
also, something needs to be said that while you are in the area where the warbands conglomerate, you are safe from divination. You do not have to be worrying about people finding you. We have these objects that prevent divination. Why do you think the warband territory is unmapped?
He
Because-
says this, and my character looks even more sad because he just said it's impossible to find somebody. So I'm like, just I'm not in the conversation. I'm just like,
He turns towards you
sad.
and goes, "We can locate people within our own territory easy, but someone outside coming in here is impossible."
Rep. Can you use your internal thesaurus to identify words similar to mercenaries, like they called us?
Processing. A hunter of heads.
I like that.
The local colloquialism would be Hodejager.
I'm definitely out
Hodejager.
for some Hodejaggering.
I'm
If
good
they
with that.
want us to be mercenaries, then we will be.
It appears we
Well,
are in
there you go,
agreement. We are the Hodejager.
Great, the Hodejager. It sounds great. So, well, that's what we'll put you as. Would you like to join one of the warbands so that you have the protection?
May we speak to the warbands?
Of course. Who would you like to speak to first? I will accompany you for that. I will leave you in their charge for the time. Like I will follow. I will lead you to them. But outside of that, I can't offer you anything else.
Meta, if anybody got a specific? Because we've got three of them standing right in front of us, so we could.
You do.
just go
You
with one of
have
those.
Stanislawa, Kuzma, and Lydia is right there as well.
Yep.
Is the Kran's Grants the bears that saved us?
But the Kran's Grits are the bears that saved you. Yes.
I am very into them at the moment.
Oh, Katsimir is actually part of the Kran's Grits. I forgot. He's not part of Vidacha because because of what he is.
Is he Bloodbath?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Katsimir Bloodbath is part of the Kran's Grits. He's like this huge bloody bear paw tattooed on his back, and it looks wrong. There's something wrong with it.
Bad artist.
That's not it's a bad artist. It looks real.
got infected.
Horrifying.
It almost looks like it's moving in a sort of strange way. And to put it in perspective for you, he has 20
Sorry, like
strength
it's
and 19
moving?
constitution, so he's an enormous person.
He looks like we would not like him if he's angry.
No. I would definitely say that I am not fun to be around if I'm angry.
What can you tell us about the Kron's Grits?
Are you asking me or
Well, I
her?
would like to ask both of you.
Oh, well, let's just say we have few values other than proving yourself in combat, grants rank sort of. And then on top of that we have like essentially honor is everything, and then binding of blood is a huge part of it as well. Sort of if you're here, you're part of the clan, you are family, and we protect each other in that way. And this is all
While this is
Casimir saying this.
while this is going on, I kind of open my pouch and let Callum out so he can provide his ever so insightful commentary as we talk to the four bands.
Let me know if you want any specific commentary when someone says something specific, and I will
Sounds
go into that. But until then, I'm not gonna have him say anything until you like tell me to talk as him. Is that okay?
Heard.
Because I have to do so many characters right now.
Yeah, I thought about it after I said it. I was like, oh crap! I just asked him to do two voices at the same time. Good job,
No,
me.
that's not an issue.
Um,
Stanislawa just stands back and sort of nods the whole time.
Who were the other two in front of us?
Kutsma, which is the bone shaman, also known as spirit speaker, and then Lydia, the leader of Vidacha.
Is she the one with the bone hat and the spear?
No,
like that?
that's Stanislawa. The red-headed lady above
This
her is Lydia.
Okay. I want to ask Lydia about the Vidka. How do you say it?
Vidakha is Vidacha.
Vidacha.
KH in the common language is.
Cool. I want to ask her about their warband.
What do you want to know?
Like, what do you stand for? What are you fighting for?
The right for everyone to exist. The word Vidacha in giant means temper, and we both mean that in actual temperament, using of magic, basically balance in everything, as well as just not being angry about things that don't need to be. We're more about negotiation and not fighting.
We have two very polarizing options here, fellas.
I looked at Stanislava and not Stanis. Is her name Stanislava? It is.
Stanislava, yeah.
I ask her, can you tell us about Boris and Yana over there? Are they just out to collect souls and
It's funny that you ask that, because they are part of the Kozich Rich, also known as Goat Horn. If you can look at them, it's very clear that they are headstrong, and every single person in their clan is tempered. Everyone. Imagine for every 5 people that the Krangritz has, the Krasengritz has, they have 1. Every member of the Goat's Horn is worth 5 to 10 of everyone else's.
it sounds like we probably won't fit in with that warband.
They are all very angry, and they only talk in a very guttural language, known as lesser giant, I believe is what they call it. It's literally none of this. It's not that they can't, they choose not to. They talk in a series of grunts and facial feature expressions.
I say, okay, what about Mr. Skulls over there?
Well, you can ask me that question if you would like. I am standing right here. Oh, are you talking about the butcher?
I'm talking about the creepy dude in the middle with the 18 skulls.
Oh,
That's
Vyacheslav.
Vyacheslav, yeah.
You've only ever seen him once, and as you say his name, he comes around the corner here. He looks around, and he looks down at you, and he points right at you, and his finger, from 10 to 15 feet away, is about 2 or 3 inches in diameter. And he walks over, and he says, "Who's talking about me? I hear my name. Who said it?
Maybe not him then.
Who said my name?"
I'm just gonna like
my talon.
point. Yeah,
I
point
believe he
over to
referred to
Rorschach.
you as Mr. Skulls.
That's
I'm just
true.
gonna back
Look
up.
at all my enemies. Look at them. Ah! And he yells at you, and your body physically vibrates as he yells at you. And he stomps over and he says, "What do you want to know?
I would like to know, what is best in life?
Best in life is eating the flesh of your enemies.
I'd like to know, must everything be screamed?
Yes! Everything! I don't have a low volume setting."
Hey, Rep, it's just like you.
Hello!
Hello!
Same guy,
I
different.
like this guy.
As he's talking to you, he literally pulls out a humanoid leg and takes a bite out of it, raw.
As you do. As you do.
Is there anyone, for lack of better terms, who has like manners?
What do you mean? I am fine.
I just like put my hand on Evie's shoulder and be like,
You saying I don't have manners? It tastes better fresh.
I'm just gonna back up.
I just redirect the subject. I really like the skulls of your enemies. Did you decorate them yourself?
No, my lovely wife did it.
Oh, you're married.
I am to 5 women.
I'd love to meet them someday.
I could. You want me to bring them here now? I go get them for you.
No.
Sure. You go
yes.
find all of them, and we'll meet up again later.
I will find you, little lizard. Don't worry. And he literally stomps off. Woman,
I
where
look
are
over to
you?
Evie. I look over to Evie and say, "You're welcome."
Thank you. But
Number 6
he comes back.
incoming.
Is there
If he
anyone
comes
else?
back with 5 giant women, you're going up front.
Is there anyone else you'd like to talk to?
Yeah, that guy again.
You were not ready for that voice, were you?
No.
I was not. No, I was not prepared.
Who's the lady with the lobster on her head?
That is
That's the
Zoya.
Spider Queen.
The
That's,
Zoya, she's the Spider Queen.
Yeah.
You know, that's horrifying me a little bit, but interested to know why spiders? Does anyone know?
Best.
We should ask.
Where is she?
As you're asking this, Casimir sort of runs off, and a few minutes later he brings back a literal. Most of the leadership in this like sort of warband thing, most of them are giants. Very few of them are humans, and very few of them are not humanoid. And Zoya is no exception to this rule, except for the fact that she's a drider. Think about
a little help.
a drider is bottom half a centaur. Bottom half of the spider is bottom half of the body is a spider. Top half is a giant. Female driders are usually black widow spiders on the bottom. Males are tarantulas and look very horrific. She is accompanied by 2 smaller driders, and herself, she's about 11 feet tall, and all of her legs together, she has about a 20 or 30 foot wingspan if she was to lay it all out.
Does she have
what-
giant humanoid feet on each of her 8 legs?
No, she actually has giant armor that appears to be glass linked onto her body or melded into it somehow. And she sort of comes walking up, and she moves in like a sort of snake-like manner. And her fingers all have these super long claws on them. And then on her on her armor, she actually has like these gigantic glass shards that come off of her armor. And she's just sort of moving like this.
Is she coming towards us?
Yes.
Okay. If there's any more room to back up, I will just head into that space. As someone from the crag, wait, are there spiders in the crag?
There are.
Like a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as a child, I was absolutely traumatized by the amount of spider-like creatures in the crag. And the big reason that I wanted to leave was the wildlife.
And she
So I'm not into spiders.
She sort of comes up, and giants normally have like pale skin, but her skin is like really, really light lavender, like a pale lavender. And she walks up and she says, "Well, I heard you wanted to talk to me."
Yes, it would be help, and Rep is going to sort of notice that other people are kind of uncomfortable with the Spider Queen, so he's going to step up front, sort of just be there. Yes, we would like to know what your warband, what your clan values most.
The ability to sneak and be around and surveil. Information is valuable. And as she's doing this, what you didn't notice is that she has 2 arms that come off of her lower back, and she's weaving something with spider silk behind her as she's like talking to you.
What is her name again?
Zoya, Zoya.
Thanks.
Zoya, thank you for answering that question. I can be very certain that we are not up to snuff in terms of our discretion. I believe if we were, this would not have happened in the first place.
That makes sense. Well, I have a gift for your party. One moment. And she sort of, her torso turns 180 degrees, and the two little hands present you guys each with a scarf made of
No,
spider
I
silk.
knew it was gonna be some kind of spider
I take
knit garment. I don't.
Take it, and I just like stroke it right next to Evie, like, oh, it's so soft.
No, it actually is super soft. It's actually super awesome.
Rep is going to receive it and say, "Thank you for this gift. I will treasure it always."
If you would like for it to be dyed, you can come by the tent and my handmaidens can dye it for you.
Thank you. That is a most
And
generous offer.
her awkward claws as she turns her body back around to you.
I'm holding my scarf kind of like a little bit on ends. And as soon as she turns around, I'm just gonna kind of chuck it on Vidor.
She leans down to you and
Did
puts
she pass
one of
me
her.
one too?
She did, and she puts one of her claws onto your chin, Evie, and she goes, "What's wrong, darling?" And she actually like bent her like torso or her thorax, like the part of her legs actually bend down to where her like, I don't even know what it's called. That body part is on the ground, so she's almost eye to eye with you. Is there something? Is there something wrong?
No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. It's just
You are uncomfortable.
I'm not uncomfortable. I just I'm an Eladrin, so the weather, I'm used to it. I don't really need garments for the winter. But thank you. I'm like literally shaking.
Oh, it's okay.
Performance check.
Yeah, make a performance check for me, please.
No.
Luckily,
Meanwhile, I'm in the back with my scarf, and I just like throw it on around my neck, like.
I would say
loving it.
that she notices. She says, "Don't worry, darling. You will get used to it eventually." And she sort of gets back up to her full height, and she says, "I look forward to seeing you later." And she looks at all of you specifically in that moment. And she turns around, and her handmaidens actually her handmaidens are considerably smaller. They're about your size, and they actually crawl onto her lower body on her like centaur part of it, and they sort of start weaving some stuff with her silk as they're leaving.
She's over here. They're over here like playing with her poop.
Doesn't spider silk like comes out of the bottom of their thorax?
Mm-hmm.
It's not poo though.
No, it's
Likes her.
No, not
The
She's
poo.
so nice.
Come on.
It's just the visual of them sitting on her back, like
Imagine Day Day on all fours and someone sitting on his back, just pulling string out of him.
Anyway, it's that visual of anatomically correct Spider-Man is the problem. That's what's going on.
Is anyone going to talk to Kuzma? Because you just sort of left him hanging.
A little bit. I did want to. I did kind of the same question. I wanted to address the same to Kuzma.
Yeah, I look over to Kuzma and say, "You have far less skulls than the Beast Butcher."
That's because I don't go out of my way to take trophies.
I just
Are we
noticed
correct
we're
in
not.
assuming he is a cannibal?
That's not cannibalism for giants. Giants can eat anything. They're like big pigs.
Noted. What would you say is important to you and your tribe?
Oh, I can't wait for the conversation later when Rev says giants are pigs, just flat out. It just insults the wrong giant.
Oink oink, giant.
Yes, just not understanding like the
We,
Yeah.
we value knowledge of ancestors. I talk to them now, and they grant me wisdom for future. The dead have the utmost respect for us. That's why I'm wearing my mother. Well, mostly my mother, some of my father.
Some of
Yes,
Where-
this part.
where-
He puts up his arms, and they're like the
Dangerous.
really big bones that are like actually the bones he's wearing on his head and his torso are all like bleached white, but the bones on his arms are still brown. He says, "My father died recently, so I had him crafted into armor.
Where's the rest of him?
Back at home, we made him into a fire pit."
Okay.
It's resourceful. You gotta hand it to him.
Nothing gets wasted for us.
Yeah.
A sentiment I can appreciate.
Just do not eat the dead.
Is there
So-
anyone else that we need to talk to?
You have not talked to Rostis, Anatoly, or Lydia. You've not you have talked to them, but not asked them about their things.
We talked to Lydia. She said I asked like what she cares about, and
You
it
did
was
talk
like
to Lydia. I did not. I
Yeah.
forgot to put a check mark there. I apologize.
Yeah.
So you have not talked to Anatoly of the Palchi Moch, or Rostis of Samaradov.
Is Rostis the blue guy and
He is.
Anatoly the
Blue Justice.
half orc?
And then Anatoly is actually a human.
He
okay.
just looks orcish. Because
No,
he's
that's
ugly.
Casimir. Casimir Bloodbath is your like new companion that they've
oh,
assigned to you.
Anatoly's the Arctic dude. at the top,
Anatoly
right?
is the guy that looks like Kunkka from Dota. Um,
Are they all in like approaching distance at this point?
they
or
are.
they
They are. They have
okay.
scattered and they're like sort of trying to figure out like what this sort of Inquisition is about and killing mages and things like that.
After the slew of giant creatures, I'll kind of like step towards Anatoly because he's more our sized and ask the same stuff. Like what is the
How
warband
close
about?
are you to him?
Just close enough.
Like, do you feel his beard on your skin?
I'm waiting for the description, Lorshik.
From behind, he's not very tall. He's only 5'5", 5'6". He's wearing a gigantic fur cloak. He turns around to you, and his beard goes down to his belly button, and it's braided. It's actually very well kempt. He's balding. He has his hair going back, but he has a bunch of scars all over his face. And he turns around, and he looks at you.
Looks up at me, to be clear.
And he looks at you. He looks up at you, and he says, "I hear you have questions. How can I help you?" And you feel something come over you when he speaks to you. You have not felt this relaxed since before you met Yvonne.
We know how that turned out. I enjoy the relaxing nature of talking to someone who doesn't make me feel like they're about to attack or betray us. And very calmly and casually ask what the can you say it again?
Palchi Moch.
Palki Mo are about.
It directly translates to Silver Sword. We are the curators and keepers of some beasts, as well as maintaining monsters have no place in this world. So that is our goal. We keep things under control. We do not kill humans unless they declare war on us or attack us, that kind of thing. But we are the force in the world that maintains that monsters have no place here, including the humans as well, or the humanoids, whatever form the people take. If you are a monster, you are not with us.
Like Does that include partial monsters of the lizard variety?
Has he shown he's a monster? Has he done something to you to prove that he's monstrous in nature?
No, I mean, when he's hungry a little bit, but, other than that.
Being physically monstrous and psychologically monstrous are two different things.
Okay. Yeah, no, we don't have any monsters with us anymore. Side-eye, Yvonne.
Yes, that is what the Silver Sword is about.
It's very comforting to know that there's people like you out there.
Well, thank you. That compliment is very heartfelt, and I appreciate it. And he's very quiet comparatively to the other leaders. All the other leaders are very loud and like boisterous, and he is so calm. And the people he's talking to before he turned around, they all seem super calm. And he goes and he offers you his hand to shake his hand.
Yeah.
He shakes your hand, and a calm spreads over you. He says, that feeling, by the way, they call me the soothsayer for a reason.
Is that a magic thing? Is he calming me with
He's not casting
magic?
any spells, no. I was chosen by one of the Wild Pantheon to be not the voice, but the speaker, for lack of a better term, that everyone just needs to be calm. That is the mission of said god, and I have been chosen to show the world that is the point.
Internally, I really appreciate everything that he's saying, but knowing some of the volatile emotions that I'm prone to and that my group is prone to, kind of know that that's probably not where we align.
It was a pleasure talking to you. If you'd like to join, I'll be in my tent. Thank you. And he turns
Thank you.
around. And it's not that the feeling that you're feeling before just goes away, but you feel almost as if you had a therapy session afterward, or a really good massage. So you're very calm and collected. Shortly afterward, a blue orc, he's very clearly orcish, walks up to you guys and says, well, I heard you were looking for me.
Oh boy.
My name is Rustis. They call me Blue Justice.
Hello. We are looking to join a clan, and we were very interested to know what your clan values most.
Justice.
In retrospect, that was very obvious from the name.
I would hope so. And
Do you consider yourselves to be arbiters of justice, or simply enforcers?
That entirely depends on your perspective. Have you done anything wrong? Have you defied the laws of nature? Because if you have, Blue Justice.
Not recently.
Blue Justice come for you. Well, my favorite boy, Albino Justice, is currently serving justice on some folks nearby. So.
I see.
Hey, Blue Justice, can you whistle?
I cannot. My lips are too large and my teeth get in the way.
I feel like there's a reference I'm missing there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Actually, technician, can you make a perception check at advantage for me, please?
Okay. Albino Justice. I'm curious if there's a red Justice now, actually, but...
Oh god.
You're looking, and he's carrying a maul that has a huge iron or steel head on it. And it has a sort of chamber in the middle, and you weren't really sure what that was about. But as he picks it up and turns it around, it's designed to have a shape charge in it.
Your maul is of a fascinating design. To me, it appears that there is an explosive that is used at the back. Is this correct?
That is very much correct.
How would one use such a weapon?
I got you. He has a bandolier that you didn't really notice before under his coat, and he pulls out a literal rocket, puts it in the back of his hammer, and he sets the hammer on the ground, and you hear it go, and he literally smashes on the ground, and he goes, and throws dirt everywhere.
This is fascinating technology.
And
Where could I acquire
all of
some?
you are like, oh, 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 like your eardrums are like, and actually you can see it, and his ears are bleeding. What? What did you say?
I'm gonna start
That
picking
is fascinating
dirt out of my
technology.
hair.
Where can I acquire it?
What? Say again. I cannot
Excuse me.
hear you.
I need somebody that can be louder than me. Lowercheck.
I cannot
Vidar.
understand you because I think my eardrums exploded. That happens every time.
Do I have opposable thumbs?
Yeah, of course you do.
I give a big
I will
thumbs up.
speak slowly and use hand gestures.
That doesn't help me. I understand what
Where-
you're saying, but I am an idiot. This is not my thing that I do. I do not understand people. I smash heads, and that's my job. That's why they call me Blue Justice.
Can I buy some of those?
No, you can't.
Thank you.
I can get my engineer with you later if you're still here in a couple weeks.
I would like that.
As this conversation is happening, I'm just gonna I'm picking dirt out of my hair with one hand and put one hand on Rip Rap's chest plate and just push him back towards everyone else, away from the screaming Blue Justice, so that we can all move away from screaming Blue Justice.
It was nice meeting you. I will see you around.
Just give him a
Thank
little wave.
Goodbye.
It was nice meeting you too.
And he sort of walks away from you guys.
So how are the Bear Clan looking?
Philosophically.
Traumatized by all of this shit that you guys just witnessed. Like, what the actual fuck? Almost like they don't, almost as if the warbands don't talk to each other often.
I could see that. I would like to make.
Philosophically, I would say we're probably most aligned with either Vodaka or the Bears.
I'm still in the bear camp. I'm stoked they saved us. Stanislava seems very sane and put together.
I might
The
have
person we're traveling with is from that clan as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that's a safe choice for us.
I just double checked. I wrote that down backwards.
I
Oh no, I did. I did right. I just read it backwards.
Do we? I looked at Stanislava. When do we have to have our decision on which warband we want to join?
Preferably before you leave here, because we do have a location of one of the artifacts of Moonball. And we can have one of our bear druids to teleport you there. And then it's basically your mission from that point on. But also you can, we have some equipment that you can take with you. Specifically one of the anti-scrying orbs is one of the things that you need to have so that people can't just locate you willy-nilly. Because he said magic users, and the things that he referred to were specific things for wizards, sorcerers, and the patron types. I don't remember what they are called. He did not say druids or clerics, right? Because they don't have arcane focus. I
believe you're referring to minion masters.
Sure. I don't
House,
know.
House, what is it they like to say all the time? Eldritch Blast.
Oh, fuck those people. But that's what I'm saying, is they are referring to a specific type of magic user, and I believe it's arcane magic users. And also, there's something to be said. It do not matter what warband you choose, you have to bring back mages. Do not let these people die. Because as far as I know, the information I've been receiving, that essentially the entire world is against mages at the moment. They're being slaughtered everywhere.
feel like the Crossing Grits is the right choice for us.
If I was alone, I might side with the sneaky spiders, but I do feel a sense of debt for being saved by the Crossing Grits.
I agree. And I have a sense of absolutely not for spiders. So
Have you actually introduced yourself, by the way? Yet?
Me? Nobody's
No,
asked.
no, you have not.
No, I was actually about to get back into that because we skipped. We had a conversation, and he went right into Stanislava. So
Okay. If you'd
I
like
didn't
to have
wanna
that
derail.
conversation now, Stanislava
Okay.
says, I will be back. If you want to make a decision soon, the sooner the better. If you come with us, I will get you equipped immediately, and then we can go.
Kuzma, a moment, please. And then Rep is
Of
going to turn.
course.
Is going to turn to. I heard them refer to you as steward. Is that what you are normally called?
It is. I am the steward of the kingdom, personally charged to Prince Zarek.
Hello,
as his
steward. I am glad to
steward
meet
and
you.
bodyguard.
I am glad to meet you. Kuzma, would it be possible for us to try and locate Prince? Oh,
Did we lose?
it is not possible. Also,
I
really
lost my
quick,
new friend.
I thought Kuzma was part of like
Get
a.
back now.
Sorta, you got no video.
Kuzma is part of Suterica.
And is he Kuzma?
No,
No.
I'm having a conversation with two. So I'm talking.
Oh,
I'm talking
oh.
to Steward, and I'm
Okay,
also
so-
about to
yeah, I
ask
got cut off. I
Kuzma
don't
if
know
he
what
can.
the last thing you heard me was.
Gotcha.
Last thing I heard you say was that you were the steward of the Prince Zarek.
Zarek.
Yeah, Prince.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yep, I am the steward of Prince Zarek. Steward designation R1F-R4F.
Ah, Riffraff. May I call you Riffraff?
When you say riffraff, his like eyes light up and his face like actually turns into a smile. He's like, riffraff, you have met the prince. Why would you call me riffraff?
I am called Reprap. My designation is Technician R3P-R4B. It is
Riffraff.
much easier to say.
I see. No one ever calls me that, except
Kuzma.
for the prince.
Kuzma, would it be
Yes.
possible for you to help us via divination or through communicating with your ancestors to locate Prince Zarek?
I have tried upon him saying the name and things like that, but he does not appear to be near us at all.
And then all the happiness that was in his face just gone. Sad robot again.
Riffraff, we are likely to venture away from this place. If Prince Zarek is not here, it is likely he is elsewhere.
He is not here, so he must be elsewhere.
Love these robot chats.
That's so good.
Would you like to accompany us?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Everyone, this is Riffraff. He is the steward of Prince Zarek. We would like to try and find Prince Zarek so that he may reestablish his purpose.
He'll just give like a lanky, like awkward.
The robot hello.
Yeah, the robot like awkward.
Is that
I'm
windshield
gonna
wipers?
What was that?
Windshield wipers?
as Rep brings Riffraff over for an introduction, I'm gonna like elbow Luershik and under my breath kind of be like, how many more
You pick Devin, whichever ones you said. We're fine.
how many more robots do you think we can handle in this group here?
I can probably carry 4 or 5 of them. How many do you think you can carry?
I forgot that we don't speak like quite the same language.
Are
No,
more
there are
than
two
two
of them.
robots
It's
a
getting out
lot?
of hand.
Can I roll to see if I hear her say that?
I'm pretty sure you hear her say that because you're everywhere.
I look to the robots and I say, "Don't mind her. She prefers the more bearded type."
The more warm-blooded type.
As you say that, Casimir gets up right next to you,
No!
like, flexes. He's like,
No, bloodbath. My guy, it's too soon.
he's like,
I'm
what do you-
still in shock.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. He's like flexing his arms. He's like,
I did not mean to be flirting. I just needed to point over there.
I just needed to make sure that all my muscles are in order. Oh, he turns his back to you and his whole like thing flexes and it's like, oh, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Okay. I'll give it like a sparkly eye, but I'm not gonna approach that conversation at the moment. The bear
Look at Casimir.
the bear
I tell
tattoo is
him-
throwing me off.
I'm sorry. I don't think you have a chance. I think she's really into the beast butcher.
Ooh.
I like dart my eyes over to the beast butcher and like
And
kick Lorishik in the
he's
tail.
over there. He's over there, and he literally has two giant women like in each hand, and he's like running towards you guys. No,
I
I'm
am
back.
not my wife's. Sorry.
I wanted you to meet them. And he literally he sets them on the ground super gently, and he says, "This is Hilda, and this is Helga, and they are my two wives that are here at the moment. Say hello, ladies." And he grabs them by the head.
Hello.
And they're just like, they look traumatized and
Hello.
shit.
Hello.
They're still giants, but they're not as huge as he is. They're not as voluminous as he is. Like the amount of space he takes up is so huge that these women look like normal people comparatively
When
to
he's-
like a sumo
When
wrestler.
when he says say hello, can Rep Rap and I just stand off to the side and both go like, hello?
Hello. Also, Rip Rap would like to lean into one of the wives and just say, "You are very brave."
Blink once if you're okay.
They look down at you and they go simultaneously. They go, "You make it sound like we have a choice."
Cool. So that one's out of my black book, but
Wow.
And they're sort of like fidgeting in their spot. Not that they're uncomfortable. If you want to make an insight check, you can.
Yeah,
Seems
yeah, we're
perfectly normal to
we're
me.
gonna. I think I just found a side quest for us, guys. Hang on.
Surprisingly, technician, they are not scared. They are not feeling like they're unwelcome. They are just physically uncomfortable for some reason.
You appear to be experiencing discomfort.
One of them, they look at each other and they look down at you. One of them just says, "I have one word to say to you, and that is proportions."
That is why I said you are very brave.
Ah, yes. It's a new thing.
I apologize. I am new to subtlety.
It is a new thing. Let's just say that. And like, they look at Evie and say, like, you can literally read their mind, and they're like, "It is exactly what you think it is." And he
Evie's
picks
blushing with jealousy.
he picks them both up again, and he goes, "Ah, they met you. Goodbye." And he begins to run away. He's like, "Where are you, my other wives?" And they're like shaking violently in his hand while he's running.
Lovely.
what a character.
What a guy.
Okay, so when we first got introduced to Stewart, you did say that he seemed very similar to Rep Rap. Inside investigation to see if maybe they're like, okay, gotcha. You saw where I was going with that already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
As you're looking over him, you can see a lot of similarities to yourself. Not anything specific, but overall design features. There are
Can I help you with something?
Why are you looking at me?
One moment, please.
As you're looking over him, there are very similar design features. Like, a lot of him looks very similar to you. Almost as if he was a previous iteration.
Riffraff, you appear remarkably similar to the design of myself. I, however, lack information on where I came from. There is something wrong with my long-term memory. Could you tell me about anything you know about your own origins.
I only remember being in the castle. I know of no other life other than being a steward for the prince, or for the king, and then prince.
Do you know your own job? No, I'm kidding. Does the name Ilisan mean anything to you?
As soon as he says that, steward, a lot of things happen. He sort of gets up, goes into like a at attention type thing where he stands straight up, and then shortly after that, he goes right back to being himself. I'm about to message you with what you
Okay.
saw.
I believe you had a question for me, Rep. What was it?
I believe I have gathered information before I answer. I believe I have answered my own question. Or I will have shortly.
Apparently.
Dede waited with bated breath for text messages that would soon be arriving in his Discord
No,
DMs.
they're not sending. I'm not sending them to you. I'm sending them to the steward.
Oh, okay.
Steward saw images or something when you said.
Oh,
Like
I
flashback.
misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah, I went into like a
I see. Okay.
Maybe you could do a perception check to see if you notice him acting strange. During that moment?
Insight. It would be insight.
I had asked you if the name Ilisan means anything to you.
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
And as
So-
you're doing that, as
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Oh,
as you guys are having this
my
conversation,
bad. My bad.
Stanislawa comes back around and is like, "Have you made a decision?"
I'm going to approach her and say, yeah, if it's okay with you, we'd actually like to align with your clan. Smile.
She gets taken aback for a second, and she's like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, why wouldn't we be? Would you not recommend we align with you?
No, I just am lucky enough to have you. That's all. I just didn't think that of all of the clans we're sort of not necessarily the most powerful, but I appreciate everything that you said. And if that's the case, then absolutely, we'll absolutely allow you to be part of the family.
Vidar steps up and says, "We owe you a debt of gratitude, and as Casimir has said, honor is everything."
Absolutely. And I would love to have you in the family. But the choice for you is two-part. We require something as in we call it the blood oath, but it's not that complicated and it's not that terrifying. It's just something that says that your blood is our blood, and if you would like, we can actually make a mark for you, and you can get that mark embellished on your body. And in the case of Casimir, that's his giant bear tattoo on his back. For you, it could be a simple tear, it could be a bear claw. Like, we just like to have things so that we can easily recognize each other. That's all.
Is the Hodieger about to get matching tattoos?
That is one of the requirements for their induction.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean-
I'm still doing this over here with Riff Raff, right? I'm not.
Yeah,
in this
you
conversation, really.
you guys are still talking about the whole thing.
I'll look back at everyone and knowing we kind of chatted about this, look at them and see that everyone is, we're all still together. We've been through a lot lately, and the idea of having a binding feels kind of nice. So I turn back and tell her, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll definitely do that.
That sounds amazing. Let's go to my tent. And she like turns around, and her like really big tent is right next to the refugee camp. And the refugee camp is growing and growing and growing as people are being evacuated because you guys saw the explosion, but it was only like the main city that it affected, and a very large powerful wave was heading toward the rest of the island, and it was very apparent very quickly that the bear druids are just teleporting in and out, in and out, in and out, grabbing people. And as far as you can tell, there's about 1,000 refugees here now. And they haven't walled off the camp or anything, but they're basically escorting people to tents, and healers are healing them and things like that. Because as far as you can tell, a lot of the actual clan members are here. And just to put it into perspective for you, around 50% of the entire population of the clans is the equivalent of one of the other countries. So, that being said, a single clan outnumbers one of the entire countries in the rest of the world. So just in this small city, it's not even a small city anymore, once you're able to get perspective on it, Novoshagut is so big at the moment that the entire population of the Verdant Guard could fit into the city. That's how many people are here. So when they say like refugees, like 1,000 refugees come in, 2,000 people show up to heal them and get them prepped and get them food and get them water and get them everything. So it's like, it's almost as if like they may be warring with each other all the time, but when shit hits the fan, these are the people that you go to make sure everything is good. And a lot of those people that are showing up and teleporting people in are part of the Kraz and Grits, but everyone else that's showing up are like the spider people are healing people. The giants are taking building entire tents at once. Like 2 or 3 of the people from Sluchova Ika, the Beast Butchers clan, are literally setting up tents. It takes them a second to set up a tent instead of like 15 minutes for everyone else because they're just that skilled at building things. Basically, everyone is doing their own thing to make sure that these people are good. And as you're doing this, you walk into the giant tent that you were in before with the pair of orcs and those other characters that I introduced to you when you first came in here. They come in and they sort of nod at you guys, realizing what's happening. And you guys sit down to go through this ritual. What we're going to do is we're going to take our 15-minute break here. And also, Stuart, did you want to be a part of this? Because you could choose to not be a part of it.
No, I'll choose to. I'll watch, but I won't.
You're abstaining from the ceremony.
Joining. Yeah.
So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 15-minute break, and then we will come back and we will do the ceremony, and then we'll do one more thing before you guys get dropped off on the next adventure. There's a lot of lore today. Today is basically a huge lore dump in addition to having some social interaction with specific characters that matter. And then on top of that, we're going to do a little bit more. And we'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Bye. Unmute this. Nope, I would have had 2 of me there. Okay, actually, you know what? I don't need my voice changer. There we go. Now it's just my regular voice. How was everyone's break? Mine was really good. Kostrin, I hope you're doing good. You have a good day, okay? You're great. And I'm happy to have you as part of the community. I hope you know that. So where were we? You just had met. We're about to go through the ceremony of blood with the Red Bear clan, also known as Kratz and Grits. I need everyone to make... So this sort of ceremony represents and is done in a way that is specific to each person. So what happens is everyone goes individually, and then they have this long ceremony. One of their clerics casts the spell ceremony. And they're also like there's like a person that can do tattoos. There's a person that can do like spirit binding. There's like ways to just do all sorts of things that represent your connection to the clan specifically. So if you want a tattoo, you can get a tattoo. If you want to be marked in some other way, shape or form, you can be marked in that way. If you don't want people to see it, they can do that as well, where it's sort of like it's a tattoo, but you can't see it without like a specific spell, like detect magic or something like that. You can do that as well. So you don't have anything physically marking you as part of this. Because
My tramp stamps.
going into the rest of the world and having a bear tattoo, no one's ever going to blink an eye, right? But as long as you're within the war bands, that will represent the fact that you are with this specific clan, that if and when the clans go back to war, you might have issues eventually. But that being said, you're far from that, considering there's a worldwide Inquisition going on against arcane magic users. So, that being said, we're going to go character by character, and I'm going to ask you, how does this ceremony manifest for you? Are you getting a tattoo of whatever the symbol ends up being for the headhunter, specifically within the Kratz and Grits, or are you getting a generic tattoo? Like, how does it work for you? So we're going to start with Vidar. Vidar, you're sat in the middle of this room, right next to a giant bonfire that's directly behind you. Stanislawa comes up to you along with one of her specific handmaidens, who happens to be a cleric. Her name is Ursin, Irsin. Her name is Ursin. And she is sort of reminiscent of the bone shaman of Kuzma. Very reminiscent of that thing where she's very much a spirit shaman or spirit cleric, that kind of thing. And she comes up to you, pulls out a large book, and begins to cite like this whole ritual. It takes about 10 minutes. Vidar, how is the binding of the Red Bear clan represented on Vidar?
Well, I think what happens first is the disguise goes away, obviously. And then basically like an engraving kind of
Okay.
manifests, like bear claws like across the face kind of thing. So just like an entire like claw across the face.
And this is on like your physical like face,
like
not
the
your
temper
okay.
face.
Okay.
And then also get the big like on the shoulder right about here engraved, basically the logo of the group.
Okay, so the ceremony itself takes place, and she has this giant quill that appears to be some sort of magical bird, because it's an iridescent feather that's not like black and purple or black and green. This one is actually like dark red and white. It shines white in the iridescent fashion, where depending on where you look at it, and it sort of marks its way across your body, engraving these things onto you, but you're not losing any temper. It just appears to be scarification in a metal sense of it. Instead of like pulling away material, it's just moving material in a way that's magical and not harmful. And as you're doing that, you sort of feel this thing come over you. And Vidar, for you specifically, this manifests in once. I'm gonna add this ability to you guys in D&D Beyond, but once per session, you can choose to re-roll any saving throw. One time, once per session, you can choose to re-roll a saving throw.
That's sick.
And that is the representation of the Kratz and Grits. They are resilient. They are full of honor, that kind of thing. So that is how their tattoos and their power manifests on you. Is all of you, when you're finished with your ceremony, will be able to reroll 1 saving throw per session. And that's called the will of the bear. Is that what that ability will be called when I fully put it on your character sheets? Evie, how does this ceremony manifest for you?
Oh, and I also want that when my ceremony ends and the disguise goes back up, I've got kind of like just a smaller scar right across like where my eye would be on like
neat.
the disguise, and also that eye is a different, like a slightly different shade of blue now too.
Okay.
So they can recognize you inside and outside of disguise. That's good.
Does it have to be like super visible for them to know that it's on you when you're out and about?
No, that's what I'm saying. When you can have it manifest to where it's invisible unless someone is detecting magic, or like, for example, you could have it to where if a Cross and Grits looks at you, it's very visible. But when everyone else looks at you, it isn't. But there are ways that they will be able to detect this marking within the war bands. They have their own way of detecting each other's like affiliations.
Okay.
That most of the time the war bands will be able to see who you are, but normal people will A, either not be able to see it, or B, not understand what it is.
Okay. On me, I think it manifests in a small. I think we discussed a skull shape. On on my back, I already have like a couple of symbols in a row, like down my spine. They're not warband affiliations, but they're something else. And it just is at the top of all of those.
Okay. So you have your sort of like seasonal tattoo or whatever that manifestation was beforehand, like where you have your spinal tattoo at the very top of it is like your bear symbol, or your group symbol.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the quill does the same thing to you, except it's depositing ink. And when other people look at it and they sort of hand you a mirror, like a pair of mirrors that you can look at it, it's not normal ink. When you see it and you're looking at it, it's almost as if when your heart beats, it pushes blood through the tattoo. And that's why Casimir's tattoo is huge. And when his heart beats, you can physically see the blood move through it. And that's like how the tattoo manifests for him. And it does that in the same way as yours, except when the ceremony is finished and it wraps up, your tattoo blends into your skin and looks more like a scar for everyone here than anything else. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you choose to show it, it won't show up unless you're A, looking for it, or B, you have magic.
Okay.
Loershik, how does it manifest for you?
For the first time, I take my very fancy robe off and reveal
Do the description.
What?
What? What?
I reveal my scales that are green, white, and black, which are more obvious now because you can't really notice it on my head or on my tail. But you can see that the mixture of black and white makes me almost not like a normal lizard. And on my back left shoulder, instead of imprint, since I have scales, the scales themselves pulse and almost look like they're changing colors in the shape of the warband symbol.
Okay. And you feel like almost as if the base, because scales have like sort of root that they're coming out of, and you can feel that root being changed fundamentally when like your scales sort of create the pattern in and of itself, and the quill doesn't. It sort of penetrates deep underneath the scales, and you feel like something strange, and it represents that beautiful pattern on your scales, and it actually feels quite cool afterward. It's not like you're in pain or you're being hurt in any way, but you're just not used to it. And you put your robe back on, and it takes a second for your scales to readjust and get used to it, but you could feel like the presence of something there all the time now. Same with the rest of you, is that when you get this tattoo, you feel stronger, you feel like more resilient, that kind of thing. The sort of spirit of the Krots and Grits sort of takes over for a moment as soon as the ceremony is finished, and they're like, yeah, you're part of it now, because there's loads, as you guys are taking in the ceremony, loads and loads and loads and loads of Krots and Grits come in long as the ceremonies last longer and longer. And Technician, you walk up onto the stage, and there's probably 150 people in this tent just like cheering the guys on and like bashing drinks together, hitting each other in the face. Like everyone has their own representation, and as you're looking at it, a vast majority of people have that giant bear tattoo that Casimir has, and just the amount of people that are coming together. You guys have never personally witnessed this many people in one area together. That wasn't like a gang fight or a bunch of people killing each other, where this is the first time where 150 friendly people are together for the first time ever in history for you. And Technician, how does your thing manifest exactly?
So Rep is going to get up on the stage there, and he's going to sort of open his side compartment, and there's a little drawer, and he's basically going to scoop out a couple grams of very fine dust, temper dust, from his reclaim unit. It's going to say, "This is the closest approximation I have to blood or life force. Please use this to mark me." And the mark that he's going with is on his, basically on like the pauldron spot, but it's going to be the skull theme that we're going with here, with 3 triangles across it, sort of in the same the bear claw mark that Vidar went with, but just all within that sort of soldered on piece.
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe I should have doodled more.
Maybe Kitty Stalin or Comrade Kitty is causing issues.
Sounds like it.
All right, I'm back, guys. I apologize for that. We have some asbestos abatement happening in the house, and the workers are leaving. So, can you repeat that one more time, Technician? The guy was.
Yes. So
I know that you got the dust out, and
yeah. So he's sorry. Rep is saying, "Please use this to mark me," and his mark specifically is going to be in that same skull motif, but on the skull there's going to be 3 triangles that come across diagonally that are in that sort of same claw mark pattern that Vidar went with across his face. And he's looking to have that sort of like soldered, like not inlaid. I'm trying to find the right term for it. It's basically putting soldered on temper on top of the plate metal that makes up most of the outside of Rep-Rap's body. I'm a terrible doodler, so I came up with this. I don't know if that's showing up.
okay. I love it.
No, not the actual smiley face though. We're like, we've gone back and forth, but I'm a terrible doodler. So
Okay. As you're going, this manifests for you beautifully. Instead of being like the red representation of the blood or whatever, it takes on that tempered look on the outside of your body, which you're not used to. But instead of having that, it's not quite soul stitched, but it has that sort of same glow to it. But it's definitely not the same thing. Yeah, and the ceremony is finished. Again, Stanislava offers Steward a place as well, if he would like one. Are you there, Steward?
Yes, sorry, what? I was reading your message.
Stanislava offers you a place.
No, that is okay. I do not belong here. I belong with the kingdom.
Which kingdom?
The kingdom of Nilhund.
The Empire is no more. I hope you know that. It's gone forever. Physically gone.
But the prince is out there, and I will find him.
Then there is hope. Well,
There is always hope.
welcome to the clan. And everyone sort of goes, hold on. The door's locked? Oh my gosh, someone locked the door.
Blame the cat.
Stalin cat went, lock the door. Should I ask Callum if he wants?
Yes,
to-
one old man in chat. Everybody stands up and goes huzzah and immediately exits. But they only got about half a huzzah out.
Apparently
I have to stop talking now.
the guy on his way out locked the door. My little brother's locked out.
While this happens, Devin,
Mhm.
I whisper to Callum, did you want one too?
I'm fine, mate. I've got my own allegiances, and these people haven't existed for as long as I have, so I'm fine. Appreciate it, though. As you guys finish this, the end of the night rests. The end of the night finishes in a huge party. I assume that most of you take part. Well, those of you who can imbibe probably do, right? Evie, are you going to take part in the party?
Rip Rap and I
yeah.
are just like standing
Yeah.
awkwardly to the side, like the two sober drivers, like with their drink in our hand. We're just
Well,
like,
Rep Rap is miming drinking.
yeah. I'm next to him doing the same.
Vidar is also there, all awkward and stuff.
Just
Yeah,
like,
no.
like in the corner, like not talking to anybody, just
I definitely
people
feel
watching, if you will.
after the ceremony like how welcomed we are and all the help that we've had since we've been here. So, does this warband drink? I'm assuming yes.
Oh, very much so.
Cool. So we're gonna be fine. So I'm just drinking with them, dancing and jumping around. They're all big people as well, or what type of creatures are they? Mostly.
The vast majority of these people are
Clink.
either human, Goliath, or actual giant. And the really fun ones are all like these massive, like the women and the men of the Circle of the Moon druids are all huge. Like Zarya from Overwatch, Reinhardt from Overwatch, that kind of physique. And surprisingly, a lot of them are druids, but there are these like crazy barbarians that you've never seen that Casimir goes over to, and they can actually shapeshift. And they're like all like partying, and like some of them have like these huge bear claws, and some of them have like these huge teeth that they're manifesting, but they're barbarians and not druids.
I like to think that they have some kind of like organized dancing that they do.
They very much do. And
But since they're so big, like some of the bigger ones, like when I'm doing a turn dancing with them, it's like when you're holding like not a doll, but like something smaller, and you're kind of like flopping around dancing with them.
Pretty much.
So that's what I'm doing.
Loershik, are you taking part?
I have I found some meat and a drink, and I'm kind of just like awkwardly bobbing while obviously just stuffing my face.
Oh, that goes without saying. Vidar, are you doing anything specific?
No, mostly hanging out with the other robots. But since this is a whole blood family thing, I spend the whole time with my disguise off and just am my true self.
Steward, what are you doing at this time? Besides hanging out with Technician and Vidar.
That's about it. Like I'm still scanning the crowd so I assume since I've been here for a few days, I've already scanned like every face. I've already like logged everybody. I've seen everybody. I've asked the leader. That's why I didn't pipe up before. I figured I already asked the leaders. So I'm pretty much like tapped out. I'm just like sad guy in the corner whose like date didn't show up, like just sad.
Ghosted.
I'm just a sad
Ghosted.
robot. That's really what it
You
is.
you and Evie have something in common.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Oh.
I chose the perfect time for that. She's not even here to address it. Love
Yeah,
it.
right.
She won't even find out about it until she watches the VOD.
Nope.
Nope.
That's a big oof, my guy.
Just a sad robot in the corner.
You think you are so funny.
Incorrect. I know I'm hilarious.
So with that, as I'm dancing around, I'm gonna go up to the robot trio, and I have two hands, so I'm gonna grab Vidar and
Hello.
Riffraff and just pull them into dancing, even though they absolutely don't want to. Glaring
I
at
guess we are
Riffraff.
dancing.
You are dancing. And we're just like going around in a circle, and they're obviously uncomfortable.
Wait. I'm gonna do the robot.
Make a performance check for me, please.
Yes, please. Oh, yes. That tracks.
That tracks. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
He's just like
Yeah.
trying to do like the robot. It does still not doing well. The next day comes around, and you guys are not. Evie, you're probably not hungover, but you feel good. The druids cure your hangover because they can.
Love that for me.
And then the next morning, you walk out of the tents, and the vast majority of the tent city is gone. Like the Spider Clan, all of their tents are gone.
It's like the morning after a festival. There's like trash everywhere. Like
No, actually, surprisingly,
tents.
you would never would have known. Specifically for Absalorn, there's a huge chunk of tents missing, but you never would have known that they were there to begin with.
Good for them.
Boris and Yana of the Goat Horn are gone. Blue Justice is gone. Anatoly is gone. Vidaka is gone. With Lydia. The only people that are still here are Suterica, the Krasen Grits, and your favorite, the Beast Butcher. His clan is still there. You look around, and the air has changed in a sort of strange manner. A lot of the Krasen Grits clan members are still here. There are still people being teleported in left and right. But everyone else has left. Can you make a perception check for me, please?
All of us or just Evie?
Everybody.
This happened last time I drank. My perception was the lowest of everyone.
Honestly, that tracks. That's sorry, that's not a you joke. That's a getting.
I don't know.
joke.
No, I know. That's why I thought it was funny.
You look around, and yes, the vast majority of people are gone. But the people that are still here appear to care very much about the refugees that are coming in. A lot of the giants from the Sluchova Ike are healing people. They're building tents for refugees, that kind of thing. A lot of the refugees are not Nilhunders. A lot of them appear to be wizards that are bloodied and missing spell books, and there's a human sorcerer that has dragon wings. One of his wings has been chopped off. All sorts of people that are being persecuted for being magic users, and none of them appear to be clerics or druids.
Did you say we're still in the plane, and those are the people that are around right now? They're not all from Nilhund.
Yep.
Is Stanislava or Casimir nearby?
Casimir sort of meets you out front of the big tent, and Stanislava comes by shortly after. What are you? What's up? What's up?
I just want to ask, like, where all the people came from. If they didn't come from Nilhund, did something happen in other places?
It turns out when the leader, one of the most respected leaders of the world, tells people to start killing arcane magic users, that they take them seriously. What we didn't know is that 70 gold, in terms of normal citizen, is 5 years of food.
So the people are just out there killing magic
Not
beings.
killing, slaughtering. One of the bear druids that you saw last night teleports in, boom, lands with a pair of halflings in his arms, bloodied as shit. He's covered in blood, and it's like, who knows whose blood it is. But the two halflings seem to be perfectly fine. They're both clutching a huge tome of spells in their hands, and they seem terrified. He sets them down. He goes, "Giantess, it appears the Verlingard has had many issues. If you're to go send these people on their mission, they have to be very careful. I believe the boat crashed and they lost. The artifact should still be there." And he sort of crashes onto the ground unconscious. And the second that he does that, Stanislawa goes over him and begins to channel healing directly into him. The two gnomes sort of run into the big tent as they're met by these bunch of stewards and things like that, and are immediately healed. But Casimir looks at you and he says, "Well, have this. I believe that I can teleport us to the location of the next spear. We might come into some resistance, but we are on our way to finishing this and starting to get back at Yvonne."
Stanislav. Okay, somebody else go first, because I got a bit of a long one.
I was just gonna say, at the sound of Yvonne's name, I have like a visceral reaction, and my rage is very obvious through different parts of my skin and my hair.
Okay.
I look to Casimir and ask him, is there any way we can ask the warbands to alert us if they find any specific people of interest?
Sure. I can get with some of the spy network that they have, because it's not just only Absalorn that has access to spies and things like that. And they should be leaving a message with Stanislawa and the other network that we have. Because that's where we're getting most of our information about saving the arcane magic users. So,
Can
yes.
you please let us know if anyone hears of the prince and perhaps Bounty Master Sinhal?
Is that someone specific for you that we should look for, that we should go get right now, or what's the deal?
I'm concerned for his well-being.
Sure. Is he a magic user?
I vaguely remember him having association with Temper, and he's the one who put us with down the path to meet up with Yvonne, and I want to make sure he is safe.
Fair enough. Okay.
His last known location is as a bounty master in Turfor, in the crag.
Roger. I will send one of the bears. She sort
Also,
of whistles. She sort of whistles very loudly between her fingers, and a handful of people come running, and she like talks to them in giant, and she's like, "Okay," and they sort of run off in their own directions. They're going to look for them in the crag and then save whatever they can. We'll see.
How may we contact you should the need arise?
Casimir has a necklace that lets him communicate with us directly. We will issue those to you when we get back. They are form of sending stone that only works within the warband.
I see. Thank you. That's funny, actually. Spooky asked one of the ones I wanted to ask. So
What's about Bounty Master Sinhal?
yeah,
Is there anyone else that you guys would like to look into making sure that they're alive or remain alive?
Spooky already answered me, so I'm all set.
Would double checking to see if the voice of Gleam is that be a magic user, or voice is not necessarily in that same.
Say that one more time, sorry.
Would the voice of Gleam that we were unable to find when we were at the temple, would that our voices technically magic users, or is that like
Voices
different?
would be considered divine magic users and not arcane magic users. Because they're literally like super high level clerics. All the voices are essentially super high level clerics. That's what it directly relates into magic mechanically.
Who was the king that we met with Yvonne, with the wife before that mom Evie was
Yeah.
drooling over?
Alden Brightwall.
Alden
Yeah.
Brightwall.
yeah.
I
Um,
ask for them to get Alden Brightwall as well.
You shouldn't have to worry about the king and queen. They're sort of untouchable in that way. Unless they want to go to war. Because if a king or queen would die in this Inquisition, that means that their country would go to war with them. At this point, I wouldn't doubt it if someone declares war on Artstadt for this.
I'm less
Oof.
worried about their well-being and more worried about their association with Yvonne.
I will have some of the spy network. I will give a message to Absalom to verify and help where is needed, if that's what you need. I don't fear for Verdengard because they're very good at what they do, and I believe that they should be fine for the most part. But I will keep an eye on them for you. I'll give you a report when we get back, or when you get back. How does that sound?
We
Thank
are
you.
also
I
trying to
appreciate it.
find. We are also trying to find Prince Scissor. And
Prince
Rep
Zarek.
motions to Scissor.
Zarek has not
Rep
been.
Rep,
If Zarek has not been found by Kuzma, who knows where he is? Kuzma is the. Kuzma is literally a knowledge cleric. That is his domain. If she cannot find someone, they don't exist anymore, or they are hidden by a very powerful object.
I understand. And Rep Rap's going to sort of reach over and put his hand on Riff Raff's shoulder. Do not worry, we will still look.
Thank you.
Devin, did you say currently we're just asking them to check on people who are or are not okay?
Mhm.
I have like a sudden realization that most of my family is magic using beings, and ask to check on my cousin in the crag, and my sister, who I don't know. I don't know where she is exactly, but I just give them that information and that's it.
Are they of the same nature as you?
Yeah.
Stanislava.
Go ahead.
Stanislava, are there any areas that are actively resisting this incursion against magic users?
I don't know. It's too soon to tell. I hope so. I would assume that they are. I have already, as the sort of governor of the warbands, I have charged all of them to be the protectors of arcane magic users and that we can harbor anyone. Because what people don't know about the warbands is we essentially have infinite resource for maintaining life. So we will make sure that we are a safe haven for arcane users, and if they come here, they will be fed and protected. So if the world wants them, they can come up here. And good fucking luck as far as I'm concerned.
I like her.
Samesies.
She seems very passionate about being against this Inquisition that's happening.
You never expect it.
What are you guys doing to prepare for your next leg of this adventure?
I would like do some like last chatting with some of the people that I met at the party, and thank everyone for welcoming us into their clan. And other than that, just mentally preparing that we're probably about to go avenge the rat bastard. Or revenge, rather.
Is Lydia still here?
No, Lydia has left. The only people that are left is the Beast Butcher, Kuzma, and the Giantess.
Are the Beast Butcher's 5 wives here?
They are.
All 5 of them?
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Stanislava, you had mentioned that the warbands can provide us with support. Are there any weapons, tools, temper, scrolls?
It depends on what you need and what you have available. I hate the common language. What you have available to you. If I was to say it fast, it would be whatever you have available to you. That's how I would say it normally. But your stupid fucking language is... It's very difficult to say.
I respond in Draconic and just say, "Is this better?"
She looks at you and says... She gives you a sort of sign, and she can talk back to you in Draconic, and it's actually quite... It's so much better because it's much more natural to her. And she says to you in Draconic, she says... She has a sort of the same accent, but it's a little bit different. But she says, "We're going to teach you all Giant, so we don't have to have this conversation anymore."
I laugh. Do we get to add Giant to our...
No, you will add Giant
Met-
eventually to your character sheets. You will all learn Giant.
It's opening up a whole new realm
Oh God.
of friendship.
I ask
Giant
Lydia...
peasy.
I'm sorry. I ask Stanislava, can I talk with any of the... what did you call them? The people who inscribed our tattoos?
Oh, of course. What would you like to know?
I want them to put the warband symbol on my scarf. That... What was her name? Kuzma?
Zoya.
Oh, Zoya. I want them to put the warband symbol on my scarf that Zoya gave me.
Oh, easy. Too easy. If you'd like to get your companion scarves as well, we can do that, and they'll be ready when you get back.
Indeed.
Anyone else want their
wearing
scarf?
that scarf, and no.
I take Rap's scarf. I look to Vidar and Evie. Do either of you want your symbol?
Vidar should still have my scarf, so you can do what you please with those, Vidar.
Can I actually get one in black with the symbol in white, and one in white with the symbol in black?
I give Vidar
Nice.
a thumbs up, and
Sure.
I hand them to Stanislava, or
Mm-hmm.
I assume she hands them off to an assistant or
Absolutely.
We just turned the end of this episode into Designed by Warbands.
Pretty much.
We are not at the end. I still have a little bit to go.
I can totally read clocks. I am the best at clocks. I have the best clocks, big clocks.
I got big clocks everywhere. They're the biggest clocks.
I
the
asked
best
for
time.
my scarf to be dyed to match my robes.
Okay.
So
So
they're
teal
gonna
and
be
black.
teal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Easy.
Vidar, you have to manage your own scarves. Same with you, Rep. I'm not putting it in my list.
Where are you? Who is that? Casimir. Where are you, Casimir? There you are. All right. Casimir gathers you guys together just outside of just outside the tent, and he says, "Okay, I need all of you to put your hand on this crystal." And the crystal is like a blood red, beautiful crystal, but inside of it there's a little blue swirling object. He says, "This is going to take us to the focus where they may or may not have found the shard of the Spear of Moonball. So we can all just go together." And he sort of puts his hand out with his hand on the base of the crystal. Or if you have to link together, and we will all go.
Rep Rap's going to reach out and put his hand on the crystal.
Okay.
I reach out and put my hand on the crystal, and I put my other hand on Rep Rap's butt.
Stuart,
How big is this crystal?
it's pretty big. It's about the size of a softball. It's just a little bit more
And-
jagged. It's like a crystal formation more than
Riffraff will put his hand in the crystal, and then following Lurishik's lead, will put his hand on the other side of Riffraff's butt.
I am completing the circuit.
Vidar just put his hand on the circle and not on, or on the crystal and not on anybody's butt.
Vidar just puts his hands on the butt and not the crystal. Yeah, I put my hand on the crystal. I'm assuming that our hands are kind of all touching at the moment.
Sort of, yeah.
Cute.
Casimir looks at you guys. He says, "Welcome to the family, and I'm happy you're here, Stuart." And he crushes the crystal in his hand as all of you are touching it, and you guys appear here.
Yes.
Willy will.
Our vision should only be our square that we're on, right?
Yes.
Apparently, yeah.
Wait, is it?
It's kind of dark in here.
Do you not have vision?
Mine's zoomed
No
out.
Where's
vision.
everyone?
I can see everything.
I can
Loading,
literally
I
see
see
Rep
90.
Rap.
Hello?
Oh.
Is anyone in here?
That makes sense.
My whole foundry is like a little slow, so we're gonna have to.
Evie can
okay.
see because she has
Auto
night vision, right?
90%.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that what? I can see.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see everything.
Oh, Lord Check and I just failed a Constitution save. That's what happened.
Reroll.
I'm kidding.
Let me make sure. Let me see if this is any better. No, it's not. Literally not any better.
Come on, Foundry. You got this.
The problem is that
Maybe,
it thinks it's nighttime.
Perhaps I can do there we go.
There we go. I'm adding a tiny itty bit of vision to those of you who do not have dark vision, because
Okay.
I know Evie has 60 feet, so I don't want that to be.
As we arrive, I can feel the dampness, and the darkness paired with the dampness reminds me a bit of home, and I just kind of sniff and kind of
Evie
like
does not only
shimmy a little
have
bit.
60 feet; she has 120 feet of vision in darkness.
Okay,
Jesus
so I'm
Christ.
finally loaded, and I'm looking at a black screen. I'm Hanabi mazing it right now.
You should not be Hanabi mazing it right now. Hold on. Oh, that's because it didn't drag you over. There you go.
I see Riff Raff.
I know, but he's if you look on the upper left, there's no
Oh,
G there.
okay. Yep.
He's not fully loaded.
Yeah,
Alright.
my computer doesn't like handling Foundry and a 6-stream Discord apparently.
Oof.
The computer's a little on the older side. She's starting to show her age.
Let me reactivate this to make sure. Oh wait, nope. It says everyone's loaded. Pull to scene. Mother. You might have to close the site and then bring it back up again.
I'll just do that.
Everyone that is currently here, roll a perception check, please.
I had a +8 for perception if you just want to roll that for me.
I can actually roll it from your character sheet.
Oh.
Reveal to everyone. You got an 18. As you guys are looking around, you end up on a shore. Directly in front of you is the bow of a wrecked ship. The waves are currently turning and tossing onto this ship. Directly to your left, there's a large cliff face that sort of just ends, and the bow is just barely below that. On your right, there is a large cliff face. Evie, you can actually see the majority of this. By the way, the vision that you guys can see on the observer camera is Evie's vision exclusively. If we were to look at anyone else's vision, it's about half, if not 1/4, of what she can see. So, that being said, Evie, you can see a lot of this, correct?
Yeah, I can see all the way up to the like sail that's like drifting away.
Yep. And there doesn't seem to be a way to get up onto the ledges above you. There is a small ledge that's about 30 feet above you, and then there's another one that's about 100 feet, and then another one that's like 150 feet above that. So these cliffs are quite large on the right side.
Where are we at?
From what we were told before, this is probably just off the shore of Verdengard. They had mentioned that there was a crashed ship where they believe the shard is going to be located.
Can I walk to the shore?
Sure.
Oh no.
What's my computer doing? I'm sorry, this is going like extremely slow.
Yeah, I'm gonna call this out now. Apparently Defender got Evie's sight too.
No, he has half of Evie's sight because he does have dark vision.
Sorry, no, I'm saying that he has a much bigger circle than. Sorry, so he should have the same sight as Rep, right?
No. Still, defenders
okay.
defenders have dark vision after 60 feet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's my bad then. I didn't want to cheat.
You're not cheating. You're doing great, my guy. As you guys are looking over, it does appear that this... If you want to make an investigation check, you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh. What'd you find, Lorshek?
Drugs! I mean...
Out of pocket?
Oh, hold on.
I found nothing, apparently.
Dang.
Technician with his bulk at +8.
I know, right? By the way, Casimir, I actually made a real character sheet for Casimir. So he's actually a real character. One of my first NPCs I've ever actually made stats for. Ever.
Nice.
So, you're looking over this, and this ship did not crash naturally. You know how they could be tossed around in the ocean, they can blow up, they could get ripped apart. This specific damage on this boat was done by a creature of some sort. Or a weapon. A tool.
This damage sure does not look like it was done naturally.
It appears this boat may have been torn apart by either the krakens that reside in this bay, or possibly a large tool.
There have not been krakens here for a long time. As far as I've been told. You guys are actually on the northeastern side of Verdengard.
Can I try to like walk up the what's that called? I should play enough Sea of Thieves. I should know this.
Bow.
What's the pointy thing at the front of the boat?
Bow.
Is it the bow?
Bow's
I thought that was just like the front portion.
There's a figure.
Anyway, I want to try to.
If there was a
Oh,
figurehead,
like
that's
the
where the figurehead
figurehead.
would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to try to walk over there, and I want to see if I can like walk onto the front of the boat.
You'd have to make an athletics check to climb.
That's fine. With the +8, I get 13. Okay.
You guys are to the northeast of Nankia in Vernongard, which is the northeasternmost city. Man, I feel so bad for Steward at the moment.
I'm like, my Firefox is just like chugging along the slowest I've ever seen it. I might just like restart my entire computer.
If you have to, go ahead. We'll be here when you get back.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We're
did you
north
make
of what cities? Did you say? Sorry.
Nankia?
Okay.
It's
And yes, I did
northeast.
make an athletics. I rolled 13.
Okay. You do make it up. It just takes you a minute to get up there. As you're climbing up, Casimir gets up there without an issue. He actually sprouts claws from his hands and just goes, just rolls up there without needing to make a skill check because that's part of his barbarian path. He can climb any surface
Show
without
off.
needing to make an athletics check. He says, "Well, I don't know what this looks like to you, but this whole thing screams sabotage of some sort. But what was the manifestation of the artifact that you saw last time?"
Last time the manifestation was the Eye of Mumbal. And Rep Rap is going to make a like softball shaped size hand. He's going to show him the size. This sized ball of obsidian with temper.
Interesting. So maybe we should look for obsidian shape, I guess, with temper on it. I don't know. What do you see down there, Evie? I sort of assume that you can see farther than I can, considering I am only a half orc.
Should I just describe what's on the map, or is there something specific I'm looking at that they can't see?
Your vision can see, like, they can't really see the bridges very well. It's a little bit darker than it would be normally.
Okay.
As well as the fact that you can see, like, there's a ruin on the really far top.
Yeah,
The
of
high
the cliff.
edge. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like far out past the boat on the rocks, there's some makeshift bridges and more crashed smaller boats. And then up on the top of that cliff to my right, there's like ruins of some structure that used to be there before.
Interesting. Maybe we should go up that way. I feel like this end of the boat is a dead end. Maybe we should. I will climb up and I will put a rope down to you. How does that sound?
Great.
He jumps off off of the boat into the water, and then he begins to climb up the cliff edge. He gets all the way up to here, to the east of you guys. He throws down a rope, meaning you guys don't need to make a athletics check at all. And then you can actually head up onto this cliff face fairly easily. He says, "Okay, I will get up to the next one, and we'll do the same thing." Riff Raff is actually heading up there with you as well. I didn't want him to be left behind, obviously.
It's going much better now. I don't know what the hell happened, so I think I'm good to go.
Let me know when you're logged in. I don't see you yet, so.
It's joining right now.
Okay. You guys are able to get up to the next level, up to the ruins. And on this ruins, it appears to be an ancient ruin of some sort of elven architecture. Made of marble, which is not natural to this area. I need each of you to make a perception check for me, please.
Hey, I see it.
You can see everything now?
Yeah.
Dope.
Let me pull up my character sheet. And you said perception?
Perception, please.
Perception. All right. Cool.
Where is Vidar? As soon as you step up here, there's something in the distance you did not see before because you weren't even thinking to look at it. The surrounding area goes dark. And instead of being in this very calm, passive area with the waves splashing upon the rocks, this is what is revealed to you. When it reloads, obviously. Okay, and then I need to do... The ground lights up all around you. And you see in the distance a very familiar but different feeling than before. To your northwest along the rocks, there's a large dome made of black swirling energy that you've never seen before.
So this is not similar, the same thing that we saw in the one Nilhund was.
No, that
collapsing.
one was pulling everything into it and like creating all sorts of chaotic anomalies everywhere. This one is perfectly still.
And this isn't like the there's no similarities to the hole that we saw at the temple of Gleam. Is that right? When
Actually,
one wall came out of the ground.
This does appear to be that same effect because walking out of the hole.
Did you remove all our tokens when you reloaded it? Because I don't see any of our tokens anymore. I see like a...
No, they
see.
should be there. It's just...
I see them.
Yeah, try going to the right side of the map.
No, where we were before. Like, aren't you see my cursor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over here. We're not over here. That's where we were before, right?
Yeah, you should see it.
I don't see tokens. Negative.
You're killing me.
I don't know. I'll tell you, dog.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't need to see him. It's cool.
I will be your eyes.
A very
Figured out.
familiar face steps out of this
My
gigantic...
sensors need recalibration.
Steps out of this gigantic black portal. And it is the voice of Moonball.
Hey guys, is that Moonball over there?
Yep, that would appear to be. That's our guy.
Who is he?
We killed him once before.
He looks alive to me. Wait, is he alive? Like you said, he's standing there, right?
He appears to be alive, but in an undead sort of way.
Oh, great.
Can I do like a Arcana check to see if he's
D&D.
soul switched or anything?
Hey,
Sure.
He's alive in an undead sort of way.
That's going to be a T-shirt. I'm sorry, that has to be.
He's
Yeah,
alive
it's
in an
just-
undead sort of way?
That's just such a D&D thing to say. Yeah, he's alive.
What were you asking about, Lorishik?
I was asking to see if I could tell if he's like soul switched or anything that's reanimating.
No. This does
I
not
looked at
appear
Callum.
to be, it does not appear to be the same one that it was before. And then, stepping out of the portal, a second one.
Oh, thank you. This was the guy with the he had a bunch of skeleton army men as well,
Mhm.
right? That was him.
And
Great.
Vidar, you hear them say, in the ancient language, it has to be here somewhere. Find it.
And I say to the rest of the group, it sounds like we're in the right place. They're also looking.
And with
For
that,
what we're
you
looking
hear about a dozen splashes as skeletons begin to leap from the portal into the water.
Are we currently stealthed?
Yes, I'm gonna give that to you guys because of the fact that you weren't yelling at each other or anything.
Are we rolling for stealth, or we're just assumed that we're being
I
stealthy?
am giving you guys a natural 15 or 20 on this one because that's what I want to do.
Down with that.
DM cast minor plot armor.
Looks like they just sent out the search party.
We need to find this artifact first.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good move.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to pseudo enter combat. You are not fully immersed in combat. No one is fighting. No one is surprised. No one is sitting
Linux
here.
system?
We're just say again?
Nothing. Terrible joke.
We're
Says it's a Linux system.
what a joke. I need all of you to enter combat. We're gonna order initiative, and then what we're gonna do, as long as you guys remain stealth, we're gonna assume that like all of you have rolled a 10, and then we'll figure that out.
Point of order. I
Can
can't
I-
see tokens, so I can't enter initiative.
I got you.
Before we enter initiative, can I look to Casimir and say, I want to use your necklace to call for backup?
If we need the backup, I will get the backup here.
I do
we
this
are
every
not-
time
Mm-hmm.
I've entered combat. How do I roll initiative?
Click on the fist in the upper right. And then
Right,
click
thank
on
you.
the dice.
I'll remember what. And every freaking time.
Wait, do we have to? I just clicked the initiative thing. Do I have to
No,
enter
you're in.
combat manually?
You're in.
Okay.
What we're going to do is you guys are going to spread out and you're going to make an investigation check. Okay? If you find it before they do, then you can leave potentially without combat. But if you don't find it, they find it before you do and you're forced to go into combat, we're going to go into combat, but we're going to save it for the next episode. So if Stuart wants to join us for the next episode, you're more than welcome to. I was planning sort of around that anyway. Because I like having guests for more than one thing, so it's like a sort of series where, hey, Stuart is in this series or whatever. But the rules for this are going to be that you get an action that is investigating. If you want to use any of your other abilities to augment, or if you want to just use your action to assist someone in investigating, give them an advantage, that kind of thing, because some of you are better at investigating than others. Or you could either investigate or make a perception check. One of them is going to be like, I feel like it's in this area. And if you get above a certain number, I will point you in that direction. And then whoever's going there has to make an investigation check to find it. So we're going to go for the whole thing. We're going to go in initiative order. And you'll choose either perception, dash, or you're not allowed to dash unless you want to go out of stealth. If you dash, you will be leaving stealth, and then combat will automatically start. If you don't, we'll call it from there. So Vidar, what would you like to do? Would you like to perceive or invest, or perceive to try and find out where the general vicinity of where it might be, or what would you like to do?
I'm going to perceive.
Okay. Or you can hold your action to assist someone else. Vidar, you perceive that essentially the second pillar right here is the general vicinity. This 55-foot circle here. It has to be somewhere in this vicinity. It's a large area, but the more perception checks that are made will narrow it down even further. Are you moving anywhere?
I'm going to take a few steps forward in that direction. Like about that much, maybe.
I think I might change my color to white so that you can actually see it on the map. Oh, I can actually change the fill color to white. There we go. That's better.
That's
Nice.
So in this 55-foot radius circle is where it is. Did you move?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't believe the voice actually rolled that poorly. Oh my god. Oh, well, no, he has -2 dexterity, so yeah. Steward. It's your turn.
Well, from Stewart's perspective, he just kind of got roped into this.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty much just gonna follow the riprap because he's familiar and he and I were kind of talking through the party, so we kind of have like a little rapport going on. So I will follow riprap and assist him
On
with
his
my
perception
action.
check or whatever he's doing?
Yeah,
Okay, that sounds great. Speaking of which, technician.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm looking for.
That's true.
Like nobody really
Yeah.
explained it to me. Like I'm here looking for something. I don't really know. It's cool. I'm here to help my new friends.
Okay. So real quick, first mechanical question: casting, is that going to break stealth?
Yes. Unless it only has a somatic component. If it has a verbal component, then yes.
It's interesting because I do have a spell that fits that description, but it is absolutely an attack. Two. Okay. Yeah. In that case, Reprap is going to turn to Riffraff and say, "We are looking for a sphere, approximately this big, made of obsidian, with a small amount of temper on it. Please assist me." And then he's going to perceive in the same
Affirmative.
general direction there.
I'm here to help.
So I'm sorry. Are we both rolling normal, or is one of us rolling
No,
with
you're
advantage?
rolling with
You get
advantage.
Okay.
All right.
Solid.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I wanted 40 feet. You've narrowed it down to this circle.
And then
Are you moving?
yes.
And Riffraff is going to be following behind you.
Okay. And then yeah, we're defender. Search.
Okay. Is he going to perceive as well?
Yeah, he doesn't have insight, so or I'm sorry, he doesn't have investigation.
Nice.
I'm going to say he sort of points in a direction and lowers the...
And you said defender's like a badger now, right?
Yes.
Just for my
For the
mental
meta
image.
there, I literally just listed out 4 and did a D4 to figure out which pelt defender picked. So
All right. So the thralls are going to make a group advantaged. That was a 14. Brilliant.
that was the face of Lord checking it up there.
rough.
They can only move.
I mean, to be fair, that's pretty par for the course for Devin even before this campaign. He's not a great roller. Don't understand how.
Yep, that's the nature of the beast for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Casimir. Casimir, make a perception check. He's actually going to hold his he's going to hold his action to assist Loershik in perceiving. So he's going to hang out with you.
I'm gonna move closer. I don't know. Can I move as much as I want?
You can move up to 30 feet. And Casimir has 40 feet of movement, so wherever you move, he's going to be right with you.
I'm going to investigate.
Okay. So you have advantage because Casimir is helping you. You can definitely tell that it is fully immersed in water. There's just something like the water is behaving weirdly in a specific way, but it appears to be moving.
I look back to the team and say, it's not on the pillar. It's in the water. I can see the water moving. It's definitely reacting to something.
He is right. There's something strange about the water over there. And he like sort of points it out, and you can see it like sort of swirling in a strange manner.
Meta question about Warforged. We
'Kay.
can't swim, right? We'll
No,
just
you can swim.
sink.
You can swim.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure the density of our material.
That's
We were
not
just gonna,
about
like,
density. It's about
get
buoyancy.
in the water and just fall.
It's more about
like,
buoyancy
sink.
than density. Something can be super dense and still be buoyant.
If you're built anything like Vidar, you're probably part submarine. So
I was just wondering if we could swim or if we would sink. Like,
No,
immediately.
you
Like,
can
could I
swim.
walk like into the water and just like walk to the bottom of the?
Yeah, sure. I don't see why not. If you want to choose to do that, yeah.
I'm not choosing to.
We're
I'm
up on a
just
cliff, though,
floating
right?
ideas.
You're on a
around in my
cliff
head.
at the moment. Evie, it is your turn.
Cliff diving. Cliff diving. Anybody?
So I guess like I'm gonna make a perception check, right, to like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's in the water, can I use Mage Hand to look for it in there, or is it after it's already identified?
What a fucking question.
Cool. I think it only has like 60-foot range though, doesn't it?
30 feet of range. So that circle is currently 30 feet. So if you were able to move closer, then I will give you advantage on investigation.
Okay, so if I move my max, which is 30 feet, right,
Mm-hmm.
to here,
Okay.
hello, move, please.
I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
thanks. And do advantage perception check.
The other issue is Mage Hand has a verbal component, so there's a chance that you will give
Oh.
yourself away from stealth if you do that. Unless, do you have silent spell? Where's your... You have seeking spell and transmuted spell. You do not have silent spell yet.
Silent spell is tight.
Your meta magic is not there yet.
Well, they're like at least like the closest thralls are like 60 feet away, 40 feet away from me.
True. Make do me a favor. Make an Arcana check.
Regular.
Yep. Okay. Never mind.
Cool.
You don't know.
So,
you don't know what the vision range on a skeleton is.
Okay. I can't talk to this is me not knowing D&D. I can't talk to anyone at this point. Like at this point in
can.
combat, I'm just trying to make my own
No,
decisions.
you can. You can talk to people. You just can't have like a 10-minute long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like your
Keep it-
turn is 6 seconds, so like
Yeah.
whatever you
Yeah.
can like convey in like a short amount of time, essentially. is what-
Basically, I just don't want to like make the decision and put the entire team at risk if they
You can-
don't think it's worth doing the advantage on the perception check. Thoughts? Oh, guys, I can use Mage Hand to maybe find it down there, but they could maybe hear me. What do you think? Thumbs up,
I
thumbs
feel like
down.
if we go in the water anyway, they're gonna see us when we go to get it.
our best option would be to identify where it is, grab it quickly, and ideally get portaled out, and rep kind of like motions towards Casimir.
I can do that. We just have to be fast. I don't know what
So-
I don't know what Evie's power is, but if we had some sort of concealment, we could do that as well.
Sort of meta, but
Hint, hint.
Slut.
Wink, wink.
I'd say same time, we all just converge, grab it at the same time, and bamf out.
I mean,
Sleight of hand.
I have invisibility as a spell.
Can you cast that on the whole group?
I can.
Multiple people, probably not 6 at level 3 or
Yeah.
whatever it's at. It is multiple people, but it's not that high at this level.
I feel like our 6 seconds is pretty long at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say do it.
8. I should have clicked Mage Hand first, sorry. But
Okay. The mage hand sort of goes around and it's going to lower. That's where the search area is now. The voices jump down. They begin their own search.
That's noise we like to hear as players.
I wish I could roll good. That'd be nice. Vidar.
Does the mobility feat make it that way I could go down that cliff?
You'd have to roll an athletics check.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea. I think I'm just going to move closer and do another perception check.
Hey, Day, do me a favor. Put your cursor where we are. We're over here.
So I'm here. You're literally right here.
Yeah, okay.
Does that count as successful?
No, it does not.
Can I psi bolstered knack that then?
Oh, sure. Is it D8 now, right?
Yeah.
Monks are fucking stupid, man. I could literally jump over there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Just saying, if I wanted to.
I think I clicked the wrong one.
No,
so.
just roll damage. Just click the damage dice.
Sick damage.
That was not.
That makes it into a 16, though, right?
Yeah,
I
but it is not enough.
poopy.
Are you moving anywhere, or is that was your movement, right?
Yeah, I moved up to behind Lower Shik and Gesney.
Are you still assisting, or what is your plan, Steward?
Yeah, until we find out where it is, I guess. I will continue assisting.
You are fast as fuck.
I am fast as fuck, boy.
Oh yeah, you could slow fall. You could just literally do whatever you want.
Well, I can activate Step of the Wind and jump 80 feet too. So I can jump like right into the middle of the circle if I wanted to, but that would be extremely loud and I don't think that's what I want to do. So
All right, technician.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, technician is going to. Oh. Cliff face is 30 feet, you said? is
The
it
cliff
higher?
face you're currently on is at 100 feet.
100 feet.
Wow.
So a climb down movement is going to take at least 2 turns. Jump is going to break stealth. Rep Rap is going to sort of do one of these and really peer at that and investigate. with assistance still. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you got me at your back, so you're good. Hell yeah.
No, not hell yeah. Oh, maybe hell yeah.
Why not? It's 25. It's great.
Yeah, but it's a +8 to 25.
Yeah.
I wanted that 28.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. I'm gonna drag Riffraff along for this, which
Okay.
I can't do
No,
because
I
I
got
can't
it.
select
I
them.
got it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diagonal 6. And I'm just going to say to the group, I believe I have narrowed it down to roughly a 20-foot area just off of the second pillar, and just sort of say that. Bonus action. We're going to tell Defender to take another quick perception at it too.
Okay. Almost there.
Yep.
All right. The thralls are going to move 20 feet. Right there. It's 4. Katsimir is going to sneak over here, and he's just going to hang out. If shit gets real, he can jump. So.
If
Lower
I
shake.
move 30 feet, how do I count the distance? Do I just like go straight across like this and consider that 30 feet?
You can hit control. And
Yeah, I would
click.
assume you'd have to. Oh, cool.
That doesn't look right. Does that look right? For 30 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what? So right here, basically, but and keep in mind the skeletons are below you.
Yeah. I'm still in stealth, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'm gonna stop right here on top of this dude. I'm above him, I assume.
You are.
And I'm gonna do a perception check now.
Okay, go ahead. No. Unless.
I'm gonna
Where's
use
Callum?
my roll the old king. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Just how, dude? Oh my god.
Also, that's weird. Anyway.
Callum comes
Okay.
out.
Oops.
You suck, mate.
Does he have stealth?
Goes back in.
He's invisible.
But Moonball saw him last time.
Oh no, he's gonna be stealthy as fuck. He's basically just his eyes are appearing out of the pouch right now. It's just the top of his head.
Cool. All right. Normal roll income. Here we go.
Oh, that's literally not even better.
Wow.
Again?
Can I do it again?
I'm gonna let you. Yeah, for this specific roll, I'm gonna let you do it as many times as you have charges.
Okay.
Yo, that's sick. What a cool little ability.
Or was that for my nat one earlier?
Oh my god, dude!
I'm gonna do it again. By the way, it's not using charges.
It's not. I'll have to fix it.
So I've used 2. There's 3.
There we go.
First try.
First try. Yeah, first try.
Anything else?
Can I ask Callum to go down there?
Sure.
Hey, Callum.
You see him like hopping around in the water, and all of a sudden you just see him go underwater, but you see like the shaking of the water where he is. And it actually lowers it to be here. Wait, what the hell?
Hey, I think we got it.
Callum coming in clutch.
Callum has it in his mouth. He just can't physically. It's too heavy for him to pick up.
I look over to the group and I just point down like exactly where I see it. I'm like almost right above it at this point. I should be pretty obvious where
Evie.
I'm pointing.
The place where Luarshik is at right now, it looks lower than the other mountains, is it?
Mm-hmm.
What's the height-ish?
About 10 feet.
Okay, I have a plan. So I have face step as a bonus action for extra 30 feet of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Can I move 30 feet to where Luarshik is and then do the mage hand again for that and then face step away with it? This is the attempted movement here.
Okay. Hold on. Let me look at your phase step real quick.
Somehow I doubt it because the action would have to be Mage Hand pick it up.
Well, that's what I mean. So the action
No,
is
her-
mage
her-
hand, and then
her-
the bonus
If
action is
step
face
a
step.
yeah, if that's a bonus action, then
Her
Yeah, that's what I
phase
said.
step is already good. Where is your phase step? It's not here. It's not in your effect.
It's in.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
it's-
There it is. I
yeah.
found it. I found it. Up to 30 feet. Phase
So
step. Phase step only has one charge, so you can. It's a
Right.
one-way thing.
Yeah. So my plan was move 30 feet, like my regular 30 feet to where Luarshik is at the 10 feet above the cliff face,
Mm-hmm.
and then mage hand as my action,
Oh, and then teleport back.
teleport back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I am, however, going to require that you do a stealth check. Well, no. Hold on. Let me read one thing about face step.
Sleight of face. Sleight of feet.
I'm going to make you make a stealth check with advantage because of the fact that your face step probably makes noise because it has an effective fear of frightening someone.
Okay.
But she moves first, right? So no matter
She
what,
moves
she's staying
first.
next at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is. My thing won't let me move me again. Thanks. And then in my mage hand.
The mage hand picks up. Well, you can't see Callum, but you pick up the eye. And
Callum's
you
just
have
hanging
it.
on to the thing, so he's moving with it.
Yep.
And then do I do face step and then the stealth check?
Yes. So you're gonna face step back to where you were, right?
Yeah.
Now
sorry,
you make a
just-
stealth check at advantage.
That. Did it go? No.
just
That.
for shits and giggles, I'm gonna make a perception check to see if I see the skull and the sphere, because I was told sphere,
Mm-hmm.
not skull.
Well, the skull is invisible to everybody but Luarshik. So no.
Oh. Okay, then disregard that roll.
And then sorry, now it's the stealth check.
Yep. Stealth check at
I
advantage.
don't love the look of this one. Okay. Knock on wood. Jesus Christ. That could have gone better.
All right. And what we're gonna do?
Uh-oh.
Essentially.
How is it advantage? +3?
That's so.
Can I use Will the Old King on her?
No, you cannot.
But I'm holding Callum.
You rolled a 1
You're
and
not.
a 2. Oh my god.
I will let you roll a single d20 for the remaining uses of Will of the Old King.
That's fine with me. It's 3 uses, but it's worth it.
On my stealth check again.
Roll a single stealth check, not at advantage. You get to reroll one of the dice. So you roll a standard stealth check.
Are you
or we,
sure?
Or we fight a bunch of skeletons. I mean, really, it's one or the
Right.
other.
Do it.
Okay. Normal stealth check.
Mm-hmm.
Riffraff probably doesn't know this, but those ice trolls, they have a lot of movement and a ton of range. So like, it will not take them long to get over here.
Let's see. Okay. Okay.
That's the natural 20
That's
face.
a nat 20,
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
That's the nat 20 face. Fuck. Thought this was
Uh,
gonna
I
be a
was
quick in and
so
out.
ready to create a diversion.
So, that being said, this voice,
Never a 2-hour tour.
this voice of Moonball here, the one,
3-hour tour.
this one with my cursor on it, sees you, and he is going to, since it is his turn next. Oops, that's the wrong one. He's going to dash to here.
That was a
We were so close, though.
And then he's going to action surge to throw his great axe at you.
fuck. That's sick.
Swing, bada 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 bada, miss, bada 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 bada.
What's your AC, Evie?
That would be somewhere 13.
If he misses you, I'm going to say that you survive and get out. If he hits you, what's your HP?
37.
Okay, there's a chance that you could go down.
Quick question again, D&D question. If you roll above a 13 or above, or above 13, like how does that work?
Meet or beat.
So
Okay.
13 or above beats you.
Okay.
And he hits you.
Fuck.
For 23 points of damage. That was such a poor roll. It's 3d12 plus 9 damage.
Oof.
Yeah.
And I rolled a freaking 23. So, you were well within unconscious range. He comes up and goes, no! Boom, 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 boom. And Evie, this giant axe sticks into you and you fall down. The skeletons will not be able to catch up with you guys. They're too slow. You guys will be able to get out of here. Essentially, the next turn, Casimir says, group together. And you're able to run back to him. And he grabs Evie. He grabs the great axe and rips it out of you and like throws it back down at him. Grabs you by the hand. Grabs
you should've left it in.
Technician.
Now she's just bleeding everywhere.
Grabs Technician, and you guys, you're pulled through. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw as you're being pulled through, please.
But are you to charisma?
Constitution, not Charisma.
Where do I
That's
see
right.
saving
Mine-
throws
mine-
again?
mine's saying, wait, do I need to re-roll it or?
Yeah, roll a actual Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Also, they're at advantage, right? Oh no, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. We only get that once per day,
Where do I see
or
saving
once
throws
per
again?
session, right?
You see where it says Con? Click on Con. Saving throw.
I don't think it was an advantage, it was a reroll.
Yeah, you get one reroll if you.
I
fail.
got you. Okay, I did it wrong.
Would anyone like to use a reroll besides Steward?
What?
You don't have the reroll
You-
because you're not part
yeah,
of the
you're-
Bear Clan.
Oh. I was like, 15's not good enough? Fuck.
Yeah, I'll use the reroll.
Okay. I will add that ability before we play next. Vidar, would you?
If
Vidar,
we roll and it gets worse, does it count worse?
no, it's whichever one is better.
I mean, I already failed, so yeah, I'll re-roll.
Why is Technician's D20 +3/+3.
He's proficient in it.
Yeah. Actually,
Currently
you should
not.
be too as a Warforged.
No, it's Artificer that gives it to you.
Oh, okay.
So, you guys teleport back to the Warband territory.
Wow.
And you arrive. The problem is what you didn't realize is this voice of Moonball
Came with. Oh God, here it comes.
had an aura. Technician and Vidar, you are reduced to 0 hit points. I need you to make 2 death saving throws for me, please. So put yourselves at 0, and then make 2 death saving throws for me, please. Okay. 1 success, 1 failure, 1 success for Vidar, 1 failure for Technician. So Technician is 1 saving throw from dead.
I would assume that I would have healing potions on me, right? We didn't really talk about my inventory and stuff like that, but I assume I would have a healing potion.
Yes.
And since I was all buddy with Rip Rap the whole time, like the second that I see him like unconscious, I am like jamming a potion in his gullet.
You were right next to him and hanging out with him. I will let you
Yeah,
have that. So
So I assume that
4d4
I teleported
plus
back
4.
like with him and like kind of like
2d4
crumples next to me.
Yep, 2d4 plus 4, please. So do /r space 2d4 plus 4. Loershik,
Me or him?
you do it, Steward. Evie and Loershik, I'm giving you both a perception check, but you have to get an 18 or above to see if Vidar has gone down for some reason. Oh my God, Loershik.
Just a regular perception check.
Is
Yes,
it
please.
/r space 2d4?
Yep. Oh my God, 2 nat 20s in a row.
Oh my God, they did
Wow.
it. They did it.
Okay.
So,
So
Rip
I
Rap,
go
you
up
heal for
10
10 HP.
table?
Yep.
Okay.
And then Vidar and Evie,
Robot buddies for
or
life.
Loershik and Evie, the second you guys teleport, Evie looks over, and Vidar's is off. His tattoo isn't glowing, his eyes aren't glowing, nothing. Loershik, you both see it. If you guys would like to administer healing or a healing potion, you can do that now.
I do it instantly. I run
Yeah.
over to him and jam a potion in his gullet.
Do they both only take 1, or would it help to have multiple?
It's up to you guys. You're both going at the same time, technically. That's how I would see it.
I will give him 1. Do I roll a
And-
2d4 plus 4?
2d4 plus 4, yes.
And oh shit! Now they both have 10. I don't. I'll do. I'll help Vidar. What do I type? /d4 plus 4, what?
/r
space
2d4 plus 4.
Like that.
Can't even roll a 10.
Okay, so Vidar, you
Not
get
for
you get 19 total. And both of you feel, Technician and Vidar, you feel drained at your essence. Like you feel like whatever force is driving your life was just nearly removed.
Crap.
Let's not pick any more fights with those guys for a while.
What happened?
Evie, I will let you make an Arcana check at advantage, please. Never mind.
Lordship, you can make our Arcana check at advantage.
I will let you have one at disadvantage, Loershik, because you don't.
As if we were expecting something.
As if we're expecting anything better. Essentially,
Yeah, you got your nat 20 when it was clutch. That was good.
Yeah.
that was fantastic. You guys come back to basically the large fire pit inside the tent, and all of you are just like, ugh. Like, you don't appear to have taken combat damage, except Evie, you're blown the F up. you have a huge like gash from the great axe, and immediately two of
sick scar though.
two of the druids come over and they immediately start healing you. Same with Technician and Vidar. They just look at you and they're like, "What is happening? What happened to you?" And Evie, you just sort of have the Eye of Moonball in your hand. Are you doing anything with it?
Just holding it really tightly.
Need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Callum jumps off of the skull and runs, or the eye, and jumps back onto my shoulder.
You're fine. You feel something otherworldly tugging at your mind as you hold this eye, but you feel fine.
It's like Pippin in the eye of
Mm-hmm.
whatever Palantir.
And that is where we're going to end this episode of Soulforged. Because we were right on time.
Yay.
I hope everyone had a
Bye.
good time. I had a good time lore dumping and doing a little bit of an adventure at the moment.
That was fun.
It was great. And hopefully, Stewart will come back to us next week so we can finish that out. Because it's good. It's so good. I'm so excited. Yeah. And I hope everyone has a great week. Stay safe. Do the right thing. And we will talk to you guys next week. Same time, same place. Be there. Be square. Bye.
Bye. Have a good one, everybody.